Mike Bloom, Survivor Hawkins. Oh my goodness! All right, so this is ridiculous. People who come to post show recaps by way of Rob Has a Podcast have an idea of what we may be about to get into here. People who don't know what any of that means, who don't know what Rob Has a Podcast is, who have just found the Stranger Things podcast or just listened to post show recaps, we're going to have to do some setup here because what we're about to get into is going to be very, very weird. So, Mike, 2 questions for you. What is Survivor and what is a Brant Steele?
So, apologies if it sounds like we're speaking Russian with all these various alien terms to some of you out there. So Survivor is a reality show. Yes, that show is still on. I'll answer your first question out there. Vosotros, I'm referring to you all out there.
The royal you.
Yes, the Vosotros. But yes, so it's a reality show in which contestants vote each other off the island, eliminating them from the ability to win $1 million. At the end, only one will be standing as the sole survivor. It's a show that is near and dear to both mine and Josh's hearts. We have both sort of made a nice little nest for ourselves covering Survivor in various capacities, both on Rob Has a Podcast and in various outlets. We are both Survivor press members, so Survivor is baked in our blood at this point. And one thing we've discovered in the Survivor internet over the past couple of years is a website called brantsteele.com, which utilizes an algorithm to simulate a season of Survivor. So every challenge, every alliance, every vote out is simulated purely by brantsteele.com. What Josh and I have been a part of for the past couple of years are podcasts that run through simulated seasons of Survivor, where Josh and I just sort of do commentary over it as it goes along with all of the twists and turns. And so we're going to do the same thing here today. We have 18 characters from the Stranger Things universe who are going to be placed inside Hawkins, Indiana, to vote each other out in the hopes of becoming the sole survivor, which, Josh, we're not going to kill kids. Okay,
no,
that's not going to happen,
no killing.
But one is going to win at the end of the day.
One is going to win at the end of the day. 1 winner, 17 losers. And some of these losers may not necessarily be out of it on their first loss.
Now, Survivor fans, please make sure don't rage quit the podcast right now.
Well, so Mike and I were talking before we got into the creation of our Survivor simulation for Survivor Hawkins for Stranger Things Survivor Edition. And, in the first season of Stranger Things, it all hinges on the fact that a boy goes missing and is presumed dead. But alas, he is alive and, in fact, is trapped in another universe entirely and comes back. And doesn't quite save the day, but he comes back and he's great and he's very important in the future. This is not unlike, Mike, a certain just finished season of the U.S. edition of Survivor, season 38, Edge of Extinction, where the premise for Survivor on that particular season is traditionally when you vote somebody out of the game, they are gone for good. But in Survivor Edge of Extinction, what actually happened was you would vote somebody out, and unbeknownst to everybody else in the game, you were actually sending them to the edge of extinction, a desolate, remote island where they could hang out for a few weeks and eventually win a chance to get back into the game, to get back into the hunt for the $1 million. And then that reset. People continued getting sent to the edge of extinction. And to spoil Survivor Edge of Extinction, the person who came back at the second shot of returning to the game went on to win the whole thing. Shout out to Chris Underwood. And such
Chris
a thing.
Upside Down Wood.
Chris Upside Down Wood. So such a thing may happen here in Survivor Hawkins because unbeknownst to the 18 players competing in Survivor Hawkins, Mike, there is an upside down that people are being sent to. People are being voted out and sent to the upside down, where they will have to hide from all sorts of creepy crawlers in the upside down and just hang in there for the shot of maybe coming back to Hawkins and maybe winning the $1 million. So Edge of Extinction rules are in play for this Brant Steele.
And to be honest, I think using fictional characters might be the only way some Survivor fans would digest the concept of an Edge of Extinction.
Yes.
So I hope we have made the taste of this twist sweeter in some fans' mouths. There's a very good chance that someone who's voted off in the first few rounds comes back to win the game. But in this
wins
case,
it all.
But in this case, it's coming out of a very desolate, deadly environment dimension. So in this case, I think they do truly deserve the win if they're able to overcome those odds and claw their way out of this, the slimy walls. That being said, also those in the Upside Down might have the ability to influence those that are still in Hawkins, much like
yes,
Will,
they may be able to send messages
through Christmas lights.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Every tribe camp, both of the tribe camps are decorated in Christmas lights that occasionally will probably go off, and people will be like, "Oh, who's sending me this signal?"
They're gonna get Christmas tree mail.
Yes, Christmas tree mail is on the way.
So I think that, we talked about doing maybe a tried and true bare bones season of Survivor, but I think the more we spoke about it, the more Edge of Extinction, the concept of the Upside Down really applied here. We should also mention, before we get into our cast here, that the host is none other than a mind-flayed Mayor Klein.
Yes.
Which is just, I think it combines, the suave, good looks of a Jeff Probst with the ability to, manipulate people's minds, or at least, eviscerate them, like the power of Probst on the show.
Yes, possessed by some sort of creature from the Upside Down, unleashing these horrors upon the people of Hawkins. So that's the premise. Mike Bloom is recording the action on Brant Steele. We haven't figured out exactly how we will get that video up, but the video will be up when it is up on postshowrecaps.com, so you can keep checking there. And I am sure that Mike and I, we will tweet out the link once the video is ready. If you want to follow along with that, Mike is on Twitter at @MikeBloomType. I am at Round Howard. We'll have the Post Show Recaps account at Post Show Recaps also tweeted out as well. At the very least, you will be able to listen along to what is going on here in Survivor Hawkins. All right, so Mike, with all of that said, let's get into it. And I think we should start off by running down the two tribes. We have two tribes, the Owens tribe and the Brenner tribe, so named after the men most famously associated with the Hawkins lab groups.
Right. We wanted to pit these two tribes against each other, so let's get the best pinnacles of good and bad with associations with Hawkins Lab to start things off. And
the real David versus Goliath that we're setting up here.
Absolutely. And I will also mention that, the tribes are pretty much named after characters who unfortunately did not make the cast. Stranger Things does have a sprawling ensemble of people. They keep building to it each and every season. Unfortunately, some could not make the cut, so I do apologize if your favorite character was not able to show up here in the flesh. Hopefully they will in another form over the course of this season. But let's run through our cast here. Let's start with the Owens tribe, wearing yellow, because I'm very excited for this first person. Barb is back.
Justice for Barb. Barb is back from the dead. She has tasted the Upside Down before, so if she gets sent back there, does she have an edge on everybody else? Is she just destined to become the Reem Daly of Survivor Hawkins? We shall see. But justice for Barb, indeed. Spoiler that there will be no Bob Newby. There will be no Alexi. So Barb may have been bottom ranked in our Bob, Alexi, Barb rankings.
But she's the returnee out of the three of them. So what do we know?
She's the returnee of the three. I mean, the people demanded it. So here's Barb.
All right, so next up we have Billy, who comes in at an interesting point. I should also mention that I think we're sort of undoing the canonical deaths of maybe some of these characters. They're existing in this weird sort of purgatorial state where they're neither alive nor dead, nor, I try not to, for the fun sake of the randomness of the Brant Steele, not have their relationships influence too much the way that they interact as well. Considering that Billy is someone who at this point doesn't know if he's a hero or a villain. So we'll see how the morally conflicted Billy does. Of course, you gotta have 11 in a Stranger Things cast. I don't know how much her powers are going to influence her finding hidden immunity egos, but I guess time will tell.
I do wonder if 11 is entering Survivor Hawkins, faking an injury, Tyson in Blood versus Water style, where she's like, oh no, I don't have my powers anymore. I hope that I'm still going to be helpful to the tribe, but it's a little tough for me. But secretly, she still has it. She's like leaning on the injury a little too hard.
All right, next up we have Joyce Byers. She's going to be a little sad that she can't get a phone call home. Hopefully when she gets like a Sprint phone during the auction, she'll have the opportunity to do so. But I would say she is one of the adult anchors of the Owens tribe. We'll see. Much like in Survivor, sometimes age can be a bit of a discriminatory factor. We'll see if that's the case with Joyce or if she can hang. We have Lucas going on here. Maybe he's on the David tribe. He always has his slingshot on him, Josh.
That's right. That's a good point. Yeah, Lucas is he's ready and equipped to take on the Goliaths of the Brenner tribe to mix our seasons. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Lucas has got here. We've got Murray Bowman, who is already he's dressed to impress. With the jean cutoffs on the beach, he's already he didn't have to alter his clothing out there on the island to fit in. Yeah, he already knew exactly what to look like.
No Krista Hasty with a sewing kit needing to make a skirt for him. And Murray, I mean, if I make a bold prediction for Murray, I think he's going to be our textbook overthinker here. He's a conspiracy nut, so you can only imagine how paranoid he's going to be from day one. You know what? That can lead to some of the best gameplay and some of the worst gameplay. So we'll see if Murray is a Boston Rob or a Zane Knight in Survivor Hawkins.
Okay, Nancy Wheeler on the Owens tribe, and as an intrepid reporter, she will always dig for the truth. She will get it out, despite all attempts to the contrary. She will get to the bottom of every story. So Nancy Drew, coming for you.
But what might complicate things is something that I mentioned could be a possibility of coming up in Season 4. Also on the Owens tribe, Steve Harrington. Now look, Steve has changed a lot. He went from, hanging with that jerk Tommy H to hanging with a bunch of children, as Robin will remark. Has that changed Steve's behavioral attitude when it comes to figuring out strategy, considering his involvement in larger, Russian conspiracies? Maybe that makes him more adept. Will his ass get kicked several times during this season? I can imagine so.
Yeah, I don't like his odds at Sumo at Sea. If Sumo at Sea pops up, I don't think it will.
I'm totally imagining him to be a Boo from Survivor Fiji and injure himself multiple times at camp as well.
I imagine Steve the Hair Harrington, to have the best island hair since Adis Bushkauskas. I think the faux hawk is going to be looking great on Steve.
Speaking of hair.
Yes. Helmet hair himself, Will Byers, is here, rounding out the Owens tribe, number 9 on the Owens tribe. And look, he's got, much like Spider-Man's got the Peter tingle, Will Byers has the ability to sense danger when the Upside Down is near. Is he going to catch on to what the Upside Down is before everybody else? But is he going to be able to step out from beneath the shadow of his mother, Joyce, being on the same tribe? I wonder exactly how that's going to play out, Mike.
And we also have the fact, he is coined himself Will the Wise. We know when Survivor contestants give themselves nicknames ahead of time, they usually don't turn out entirely well. We know that, he also has a personal connection with the Mind Flayer. Does that mean he might be colluding with production? What does Survivor Hawkins Twitter have to say about this? We're not entirely sure. All I know is he might like it cold, but he'll enjoy the nights, I suppose, in Hawkins. Yes, otherwise, during the day, he's going to be sweating out more than, the cabins when they try to burn the Mind Flayer out.
It's going to be hot. All right, that's the Owens tribe in yellow. In purple, we've got the Brenner tribe, and we are kicking off the Brenner tribe with the Scooper Trooper himself, Cerebro Architect, spectacular singer, Camp Nowhere alum. It's Dustin Henderson kicking off the Brenner tribe. A very creative, innovative young man. How is that going to translate to Survivor? Will he be the Tony Vlachos of the season, building spy bunkers? God,
yes, he's going to build a spy contraption.
Look, Steve.
Steve, you got to push my butt, okay?
I'm building a spy shack.
Do I have to speak Llama to you, Steve? Russian Llama?
Yeah, I feel like Dustin definitely speaks Llama, so that's going to be exciting. We may have a Tony versus Chaos Cast situation brewing in the form of the next person.
Ooh, so we have a Chaos Cast and erratic Erica?
Yeah, and the Brenner tribe's erratic Erica Sinclair, who doesn't suffer fools easily, and how will she handle Dustin's hijinks? They have history. How is she going to handle the lack of ice cream?
Well, I
On
think
this
if there's a reward, she's going ham. Like, I
Going to
think
ham,
when Mindflayed Klein announces one of the awards as an ice cream bar, I think she is, screaming at her tribe members to finish as quickly as possible. But
I think Erica, an early front runner to take this whole thing, right? I mean, we've seen her convincing social strategy in effect already in Stranger Things. We've seen her talk a winning case to the Scooper Troopers. In the past, she was able to snag free ice cream for life from Scoops Ahoy. $1 million should be a piece of cake.
I mean, listen, and she gave a great argument about how capitalism is great, and so the $1 million should be in her pocket. Let's move on to the man, Jim Hopper. It'll be very interesting to see, honestly, if Hopper's temper is going to get him in trouble here. He is a figure who commands authority, who is able to pull off some wily maneuvers. We saw specifically in Season 3, the stuff he was able to get away with by claiming he was the chief of police. But there is no police out on the island, Josh, and I don't know if Hopper will hold that authority.
I mean, we said Dustin's the Tony, but is Jim going to be the undercover cop? Is Jim Hopper going to be able to present himself as a construction worker, knowing that police officers typically aren't looked kindly upon in Survivor? Either way, he's probably going to be more used to the conditions. He's presumably in isolation right now in the actual Stranger Things timeline. So he's been through tough stuff before. He's going to be a brute force in these challenges, but does he have he's got the brawn, Mike, but does he have the brains to back it up?
He's going to have a great Day 39 stash.
Absolutely, if he makes it that far.
Let's move on to Jonathan Byers. Unfortunately, separated from his girl like he is at the end of Season 3. Jonathan is a loner who has been able to, stay on his own for quite some time amidst a troubling family situation and also social dynamics at the high school. The question is, how long will he be able to remain in isolation in the game? Will Jonathan Byers be able to find allies, or will he become ostracized quickly? Time will tell.
I mean, He's a loner by nature, and it takes a lot of work for Jonathan to open up to people. And it just so happens that the people that he has opened up to the most are on the other tribe. His brother Will, his mother Joyce, his girlfriend Nancy with former Flame Steve Harrington. I feel like Jonathan is not quite on an island of his own yet.
Yes,
but,
former Flame Steve Harrington, and also former punching bag of Jonathan, Steve Harrington, who is also on a tribe with another person that uses him as his punching bag, Billy Hargrove.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't like Jonathan's shot. Will he be the LVP of Survivor Hawkins? Time will tell.
Next up, we have Karen Wheeler, our tribe mom, I suppose, if Joyce is the tribe mom of the Owens tribe. She came into prominence in the last season. I think she is more than happy to be flirtatious, but she can also fill that motherly role as well. She's very flexible, though others might be inclined to get angry at her due to her listening in on conversations that maybe she should not be privy to.
Yeah, all right. And Karen being here, we criticized the writing of Karen Wheeler over the course of our Stranger Things podcasts. I think you and I both have a lot of love for Karen Wheeler as far as her potential, as far as Cara Buona's performance. And we always just wanted to see more from her on Stranger Things. Will she be the Yas Queen of Survivor Hawkins? I think we are both hoping the case to be yes.
Let's roll on forward with Max Mayfield. Here's a hot take, Josh. I feel like Max is an undercover challenge beast here.
Ooh, I think so. She
hangs tough in the most arduous circumstances. I think she's also a no-nonsense person. I think look to her as our confessional queen, someone who's going to look to the camera and say, I can't believe this shit is happening. So I'm all in on Max here. I think she has very good chances.
She's the Victoria of Survivor Hawkins.
And not just because of the hair color.
But a lot of it is because of that. Mike Wheeler in the house. Mike Wheeler is in the Brenner tribe. He's got his buddy Dustin here, so that's fantastic. But he's stuck here with Hopper. We know that that's very tense. Sometimes it's very tense between him and Max.
There was this weird thing where Hopper tried to come out for a loved one's visit before and say, your grandmother died. And it turned out not to be the case.
Yeah, she died, dude. So we'll see how that plays out. Also, Mike is on a tribe with his mother, Karen. So much as Will is stuck with Joyce, Mike is stuck with Karen. Will that stifle their gameplay?
I partially did that because I want a Sierra Easton moment to happen. So now we've
It's
doubled our
very
chances.
very likely to happen. Very likely to happen. Robin, another front runner here to take it home, I think, is the great Scoops Ahoy's very own Robin, no last name, played by Maya Hawke in Stranger Things. An MVP potential contender for Stranger Things 3. How will she do here in Survivor Hawkins?
Especially due to the fact that, her one big connection in Steve is gone. She does still have her Scoops Troops members in Dustin and Erica, but it seemed like from the end of season 3, she had awkward conversations when she initially talked with people. I mean, Robin's a person who is trying to come to her own sense of who she is. I wonder, they say Survivor is a really eye-opening experience when it comes from that perspective. I wonder if Robin's going to have a similar epiphany out on the island.
All right, and the last contestant here in Survivor Hawkins, hailing originally from the Upside Down, a woman of mystery, she is Dema Morgan.
So look,
Dema Morgan is here.
We had to throw in a wild card here. And so putting the Dema Morgan here, I think is going to be a very interesting aspect. I did separate her from Eleven, who was her main nemesis, but the question is, do you cooperate with your enemy? Isn't that invariably what Survivor is all about? Or is she out on an island all on her own right to begin with, just from who she is and where she comes from? Time will tell, but I cannot wait to see how the Dema Morgan mixes the game up.
Now, as LJ McCannis once said in Survivor Cagayan, you can trust cute, but you can't trust hot. Can you trust cold?
You know what? I guess by LJ's rules, you can, right? If you can't trust hot, then you can trust cold.
Okay, so maybe the Dema Morgan will show herself to be a very trustworthy, straight-up player, but those are your
I don't know. I think she has two faces or even more.
Yes, those are your 18 castaways here on Survivor Hawkins. And without further ado, Mike, I think we should get into it. Can people go to the Brant Steele page and click along and see how everything shakes out for themselves?
Sure. I mean, we can probably put up an alias, something like postshowrecaps.com/Survivor Hawkins. Might be able to link to that. This doesn't have a month expiration date, so if you're listening to this super late, it might be expired by then. Otherwise, I think if you go to postshowrecaps.com/YouTube, as Josh mentioned before, the video should be up there to follow
eventually, at the very least. We will do our best
with all these shenanigans, but we'll try to do our best audiobook impressions to try to recap the action as it exists.
Yeah, just in case the technical difficulties overwhelm us and we're not able to get this up. You may just need to listen to this. So without further ado, Mike, let's get into the first episode of Survivor Hawkins.
So, we're going to start off with a marooning here. And during the marooning, people are hustling and bustling around. It's like a regular 4th of July fun fair. Jonathan Byers, is extremely adept. He finds what is known as the advantage menu, found by one Ron Clark during Survivor Edge of Extinction. The advantage menu can be used to either steal a reward from the winning tribe, use an extra vote, or use it as an individual immunity idol at any future tribal council.
This is a big get for Jonathan, who I really am concerned for his odds here in the Brenner tribe. I don't like this draw for him. So him getting that advantage menu early on, really clutch. It's just a matter of will people suspect Jonathan Byers as the crafty type? My guess is yes, but we'll see exactly how it plays out.
Do you think Jonathan was rolling around in the dirt like Ron Clark did when he got the menu?
Almost certainly. He's got kind of that greasy look about him.
I was going to say, yeah, he definitely, unlike Ron Clark, who dyed his yellow brown with that. I'm assuming people were like, oh yeah, Jonathan was just getting grody like Jonathan always does.
That's just Jonathan.
All right, let's proceed here as these tribes get to know one another. So, we do have some hidden immunity egos, or hidden immunity idols, if you will, hidden at the Owens tribe camp, as well as the Brenner tribe camp. We'll see maybe when the pedal hits the pavement, we'll see people start to look for those. Let's get to our first immunity challenge, Josh. Let's find out which tribe is going to be the one to vote their first person into the Upside Down.
Okay.
And it looks like the Owens tribe wins immunity and Flint. So safe from being the first one voted out are Barb, Billy, 11, Joyce, Lucas, Murray, Nancy, Steve, and Will Byers.
That's a great first victory for the Owens tribe. Once again, it is a very lucky thing that Jonathan has that advantage menu. He may need to use it here in this first episode, Mike.
All right, let's get into these tribes to see what's breaking down post-immunity challenge. So, at the Owens tribe, the winning tribe, Barb and Lucas are bonding slightly.
Wow, that's kind of unexpected. I think maybe Barb is a New Coke fan and heard that Lucas likes New Coke as well. And the two of them are able to just come together over their shared beverage affiliation.
I like to share a Coke and share my opinions on New Coke. But not only that, Josh, their slight bond has brought in one Billy Hargrove for the first alliance of the season.
Now, this is exciting because, listen, season 3 was a story of darkness and ultimately redemption for Billy. And if Billy has been resurrected after season 3 for the events of Survivor Hawkins, then maybe he's rehabilitated a little bit. And he sees Lucas rehabilitated, and he sees Lucas. He goes, you know what? I gave you a hard time. My sister really likes you. Maybe we should stick together. And Lucas feels similarly towards Billy, and I think Billy also probably has a little bit of a crush on Barb.
Ooh, a little bit of a B&B showmance going on.
I think a little bit of a B&B thing going on here. So Billy, Barb, and Lucas, a quality alliance, but not the only alliance on the beach.
No, so an alliance between, I guess we're going with some age here, Josh, because 4 of the older members of the Owens tribe, Joyce Byers, Murray Bauman, Nancy Wheeler, and Steve Harrington, have come together. It looks like, if we're talking about water under the bridge, it looks like Nancy and Steve have let bygones be bygones for now to join up with the 2 adults. I'd assumed when I put Murray and Joyce on the same tribe that they were a natural fit. Not only are they the 2 oldest members, they did take down an entire Russian bunker together. You feel like that bonds people.
Yeah, and Nancy and Steve, they've got history. I think the big surprise is 11 and Will are both on the outs in this tribe. They're not mentioned in any capacity in the alliance structures, and Will's mom is here. So she's really not looking out for Will. Maybe he's gone missing already.
I'm looking out for what's best for Joyce.
Yeah, what's best for Joyce?
All right, let's move on here to the Brenner tribe, who's about to go to tribal council, so this should be very interesting.
Yes.
So Dustin and Robin, Josh, the Scoops troop is looking to break up. Dustin and Robin have a major fight.
Oh my God. I think, they spent so much time together in Stranger Things 3. They now find themselves trapped on an island here in Hawkins. Yes, an island in the middle of Hawkins.
It's a traffic island.
It's a traffic island, and they just spent way too much time together. I think that it was bound to happen, that they were eventually going to get a little too opinionated. Maybe they disagreed over the premise of Back to the Future. Dustin tried to mansplain Back to the Future to Robin.
But
she felt like she had a pretty good handle on the plot.
It truly feels like we actually might already be in the upside down, Josh, because things are truly topsy-turvy. While these 2 best of friends in season 3 are splitting apart, Jim Humper and Mike Wheeler bond strongly, and it has a lasting impact.
Look, again, if we're saying that this is taking place after the events of Stranger Things 3 and anyone who died is back to life, or if you're missing in action, you have been found, then we can assume that Hopper had a lot of time to think about how he had treated Mike. The last time he saw Mike, it seemed like he was giving him sort of the nod of approval. I think Hopper knows that if he was to vote out Mike, 11 would never forgive him.
It's sort of like a weird blood versus water like scenario as well, where if you vote people out, how is that going to affect the people on the other tribe? Even though you're also sort of connected with them too, so everyone's blood and water here.
All right, well, let's get to tribal council. No immunity idols found so far. No immunity egos have been recovered.
No, people are, I think, remaining surprisingly conservative with that, much like the Wheeler family. So we have Dustin and Robin on the outs. Seems like Hopper and Mike aren't actually working together at the moment, though they might be voting together.
But we have no sense of alliances yet, so this first tribal council may be a crazy one.
All right, let's go to tribal here. So, nobody's going to play an idol. Let's get to the votes.
No idol to be played. All right, let's get to the votes here, Mike.
First vote, Max.
Okay.
Second vote, Jonathan.
Ooh.
Third vote, Jonathan.
Oh, Jonathan.
Fourth vote, Max. We're tied 2-2.
Okay.
Fifth vote, Jonathan.
Oh, Jonathan, you should have played your advantage menu, buddy.
Sixth vote, Jonathan Byers.
Oh,
boy, here we go. Seventh vote, that's it. Jonathan Byers voted out. Advantage menu in pocket, Josh Wigler. Brand Steele is already pulling out the crazy stuff for us.
Oh, my God. LVP Jonathan B. kicked out of the game with his advantage menu. That is pathetic, as we have come to expect from the terrible Jonathan.
Yeah, nobody
Byers.
wants to put his name on the wheel to spin to see if they want to spy on him. And nobody even wants to give him the time of day as they send him to the Upside Down. Let's see who the one vote against Max was besides Jonathan. It looks like Erica.
And we should note that Jonathan decided to continue on, so he will be spending the next several weeks in the Upside Down, where his brother once shacked up. So Jonathan is going to the Upside Down. He will be the Ream Daily of Survivor Hawkins.
Jonathan by Ream Daily. We have, a nice makeshift shelter constructed. He'll definitely coin that Castle Byers, considering he is a Byers. Looking at the votes, it looks like Erica Sinclair threw a vote Max's way as well. It's yet to be seen as to whether or not that's going to negatively impact her in the game, because once again, there are no alliances. If I could interpolate something here, it honestly does seem like Jonathan separated himself. Maybe, he was too busy celebrating about his advantage menu that he kind of separated himself from the rest of camp. And so when it came to going to Tribal Council, he was an easy first one out. I'm sure your interview with him, Josh, was very interesting.
Very boring. This is my theory, Mike, is that Erica, already playing 5D chess, discovered the advantage menu in Jonathan's bag, spreads the news of the advantage menu. They all decide to blindside Jonathan, otherwise he would have used that advantage menu. And then Erica tosses a vote out at Max to cause some chaos and some paranoia that maybe Mad Max is going to get upset about, not knowing where that vote came from. Nobody knows each other's handwriting yet. So let's see how that plays out.
I'm here for Erica Diaz Twine, personally.
Yes, I am as well.
All right, let's get into episode 2, where Jonathan has made his way into the Upside Down.
He's at the Upside Down.
He's hanging out. He has some time to think. He's used to being alone, so really this was the... if someone had to go, I guess it had to be Jonathan Byers. He's now able to read his advantage menu word for word, letter for letter, and debate why, oh why, did he not play it. Though, I think it's also to note, if he comes back into the game, I do believe by Survivor rules, it will be reactivated.
No, I think it's not,
right?
It
expires at the third Tribal Council.
Yeah, advantage menu's dead. I think it's done. I think even if he were to come back, he got voted out with the advantage menu in his pocket. It's over.
Yeah, I mean, he could pull a Ron Clark, cut off the bottom, and try to give it to somebody to play.
Sure, but I don't think Brent Steele is that clever.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to happen. Jonathan Byers, how are you feeling? Dude, it's fine.
Exactly. All right. Well, let's get into the Owens tribe. We're just shaping up our alliances here. Again, we have Barb, Billy, Lucas. We have Joyce, Murray with Nancy, and Steve with
the alliances hold.
With Lemon and Will on the outs.
No idol found. The alliance.
Brenner tribe is still free agents. No major things, despite a vote somewhat unifying them. We'll see if Erica was able to pin the vote on somebody else. Let's get to the next immunity challenge, because that's when things get really spiced up. And it is once again the Owens tribe, 2 for 2 in immunity challenge wins here, Josh.
Oh my God, they're crushing it. They've got Steve Harrington here as the Joey Amazing.
Well, they have both Bob. They both have Billy and Steve, who are both basketball whizzes. So I can only imagine those challenges where they have to shoot baskets at the end, that they're absolutely crushing them.
Absolutely, and they both got the top knots out there. The mullet is being rocked in a way that is more modernized for the game of Survivor, and it's all in the hair. Even Will Byers is rocking himself a little man bun out there.
Yeah, Murray is
little boy bun.
Murray, alias Bald Eagle, is shook at all the hair going on around him.
He's the war dog, obviously. Murray's definitely the war dog.
All right, let's move on here. And even though the Owens tribe has won, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of stuff going on back at camp. So let's see.
Spices, knives, and a fishing kit, which is great news.
Well, using that fishing kit, Barb and Murray are going to bond slightly. I think Murray could totally, with the beard, take a page out of the Rupert Boneham Provider book and start fishing, which I think has
Rupert Bowman.
Yeah, Rupert Bowman, which has really made a positive impression on Barb.
Yeah. Bad news, though. Billy is having a major meltdown.
Understandably so.
Yeah, one wonders if he's found himself dragged into the jungle, swarmed by rats, not snakes, and if he is already starting to feel some of the effects of the Upside Down. The redemption story for Billy may be short-lived.
Well, plus you have to imagine that he's looking out at the waves. He's remembering the 7-foot swells.
Yeah, that's right.
We know that's brings back bad memories for him. So I could totally see the hashtag Survivor Breakdown hashtag show up as he talks about the situation with his mom and how he's going to power through it. So Billy's he's safe for now. So hopefully he'll be able to stay strong amidst other circumstances. Let's see what's going on with this Brenner tribe as they face their second vote here. Robin is going to find the Brenner tribe hidden immunity Eggo, Josh.
Yeah, well, this one it's an Eggo flavored ice cream that she has found.
Just wait until Stranger Things season 4 when that becomes a thing.
A mini freezer that she can store the idol in so that it doesn't melt. But that will only take it so far. Good for Robin. I mean, Robin in season 3, she's the one who decodes the Russian message. So she was able to discern all the clues to find the idol. It makes sense to me that she was going to be the one to find this above everybody else.
Well, it's so interesting because the way they decided to do idol clues this season was that they broadcast them over these frequencies that, you tune into with the radio at camp right next to Christmas tree mail. And she was the one that was really able to decipher them. She tried to enhance it at first. Dustin actually tried to and was not able to make his very sexually explicit noises, much like Tony Tacos.
Well, the great irony that Dustin had snuck Cerebro out to the island.
Yes, Cerebro Fields, bro.
A la Richard Hatch in Survivor All-Stars, and we don't need to get into the gory details. But Cerebro is out on the island, and through the spy shack that even Dustin had built, Robin was able to use it, and she has already flipped Dustin's utensils against him. So,
yes, and now Dustin has 2 pains in the ass, and one of them is his deteriorating relationship with Robin, who now holds an idol.
You don't have to mention the other one.
Yeah, exactly. Robin is also impressing the rest of the team. So maybe Robin on the upswing feels like she can now, she seems like a very knowledgeable person. She knows 4 major languages. So I can imagine that she's somebody who's helped leading the shelter building. But Josh, it's not looking so good for our Demi Morgan here.
The Demogorgon is having a meltdown. Yes, it's bad for the Demogorgon, who I think much like Billy, there must be a little bit of a sense that the Upside Down is not that far away. And so the impact of the Upside Down, even being in the game, it's calling to these people who've had brushes with the Upside Down. This is where the Demogorgon is from. And Billy spent much time under the influence. How these meltdowns are gonna translate, we shall see soon.
Well, I can also imagine that, the Demogorgon, I think, has a certain type of cuisine that she's interested in. And I can imagine that everyone's starved out here on the traffic island, but I'm assuming the starvation hits Demi Morgan the most, a very Garrett Adelstein way.
Yes. Okay. Let's see what's up with some Brenner Tribe alliances right now, because it looks like we're finally getting one.
So it looks like literally everybody who voted for Jonathan at the last tribal council, so that's Dustin, Hopper, Karen, Max, Mike, Robin, and the Demogorgon, are in a pretty loose alliance together, which means maybe, Josh, Erica Sinclair's gambit did not pay off, and she may be stuck in the strategic events looking for an easy out.
All right, but Erica, maybe she wants to be underestimated, right? Maybe she wants to be the easy vote, or she's delivered one too many speeches about capitalism and has made one too many demands about ice cream, and nobody can abide it any further. I guess we'll find out at Tribal Council.
All right, let's get to the vote here. Vote number 2 of Survivor Hawkins. Let's see who's joining Jonathan there. Looks like Robin is not going to play her idol.
Okay, so she's not going to play the idol. All right.
First vote
vote
goes to Erica.
gosh.
Second vote, Dustin. Ooh, we're looking at the showdown of the Scoop Troop members. Third vote, Erica. Josh, I would not be surprised if we see a unanimous vote against Erica here.
I know. Okay.
Fourth vote, Erica. I think one more should do it. Fifth vote, Erica. That's going to do it. Yep. Second person voted out of Survivor Hawkins. Erica Sinclair, Josh, I think she just got too fancy, and I think she got caught very easily with her hand in the ice cream jar, and I think, unfortunately, it was a not-so-sweet surprise for Erica, though she is heading to the edge of to the Upside Down.
Too cute for Erica Sinclair, who had a breakout season in the Stranger Things 3 proper. It's a sad run for Erica here.
Yeah,
and frankly, Erica, I actually would have expected maybe to say thumbs down to the Upside Down. But she's choosing to continue on to the Upside Down. She's a fighter.
I'm pretty sure there was a to-be-continued episode where she goes, come on, nerds. Come on.
Come on, nerds. Come on, nerds.
She prayed to Rainbow Dash and Fluttershy, and she was able to get the response. So now we have... It looks like a unanimous vote, pretty straightforward. Let's move into episode 3. Now with the obvious outsiders cast out of the Brenner tribe, this alliance of 7 is going to have to break down, Josh, if and when they go to tribal council again. Will they lose once more? Let's go.
Right, well, fingers crossed for them that they won't. We've got Erica has joined Jonathan on in the Upside Down, and I know she was voted out second, Mike. But just a quick petition. I feel like Erica's clearly got to be the Reem Daily.
Yeah, I think that they've reversed roles pretty quickly. Jonathan says, you know what, you're in charge of this camp. I think Erica is giving 100%. Jonathan all the orders in the world as they climb up this path to get the one little bowl of Eggos, much like Hopper left for 11 during season 2.
This is all the Eggos we have?
Not even a toaster?
She had thought that she had signed on for Eggos for life.
Eggo of extinction.
Oh, it's bad news for Erica Sinclair, who is going to have to weather the hunger out there in the Upside Down.
All right, let's get to Owen's tribe. Alliances, same as usual. Brenner tribe, looks like these 7 people are all together.
It's like the, I don't know, it's like the happy-go-lucky tribe.
It's a love tribe, absolutely.
It's kumbaya. It's much like the Kama tribe, except they've got that Manu luck.
All right, let's get to our reward challenge here. First of the season. Now, the Manu tribe, that was the first challenge that they ended up winning. Let's see if they're able to turn around much like their real-life counterparts, and they do!
They did it! Oh, good for the Brenner tribe. They've got their choice between comfort items or 3 hens and a rooster. They are picking the Chicken's Dam are coming back to the Brenner tribe. And
boy.
Hopefully nobody's going to Big Wendy this thing.
I mean, I can imagine...
set these chickens free.
Yeah, they're all eyeing it. Steve was probably eyeing it, if we remember the KFC awkward scene with Barb's parents from season 2. Also noteworthy, this challenge ended in a slingshot. Lucas Sinclair bungled it at the end, allowing the Brenner tribe to make a surprise win here. Hopefully they can keep this streak going into the immunity challenge, where, unfortunately, they got the chickens here, Josh, but the Brenner tribe laid an egg in the immunity challenge. The Owens tribe has won for the 3rd immunity challenge in a row.
Wow, history repeating here. As it was on Edge of Extinction, so is it here in Survivor Hawkins, as this poor Brenner tribe just can't get any luck. They can get a couple of chickens, but birds of a feather go to tribal council together.
All right, let's go to the Owens tribe here, see if there's any developments from this tribe that is yet to go to tribal council nearly 10 days into the game. Murray Bowman is going to find the Owens tribe hidden immunity idol. Quite frankly, Josh, I can imagine Murray searching the grounds on day 0. I'm surprised it took him this long to find it.
Yeah, I think that people are going to find the immunity idol or immunity Eggo on Murray because he's just going to be hiding it in his jorts.
Yeah, not a lot of room. At least, hopefully, not a lot of room.
Yeah, I don't think so. Murray, where the war dog could not channel his inner Vlachos to find all these idols, Murray is going to find the first idol of the Owens tribe. It's that conspiratorial thinking, man. He's just always going.
All right, now it looks like... Much more so, in the little thread that we set up in episode 1 here, Billy and Lucas find something in common. Josh, could this be the first big power couple? An unlikely one, but still a power couple of Survivor Hawkins.
It's a really unlikely duo between Billy and Lucas, but so far these guys are doing great. Like, they're just really coming together. They're working really well together. It's that shared love for Max that's really bringing them closer together. And you wonder if there's going to be a big three-way alliance should these people meet up further in the game.
In the meantime, Joyce and Steve are bonding strongly, but of course, Josh, as quickly as they come together, they might be splitting apart very soon because Billy and Lucas are about to have a minor disagreement as well. Maybe it's to regard as to what they're going to do, how they're going to treat Max when they join up with her. So it appears that while they are mending fences, the fences are not completely on the mend.
Brand Steel is great because first it says Billy and Lucas find something in common. It has a lasting impact. Then Joyce and Steve bond strongly. Then just as quickly, Billy and Lucas have a minor disagreement. It has a lasting impact. So I guess lasting is a loosely defined word. Maybe Lucas is suspecting that something's not quite right with Billy. Lucas has experience with the Upside Down. Does he sense that Billy is once again flayed?
And also, Joyce,
you're getting flayed.
Not to be forgotten, Joyce and Steve bond strongly. I'm assuming it's because they both bond over being, camp mothers / babysitters. It's roles that they both fit before, so I think they're commiserating over that.
Yeah, I think so, and I think that that Steve he does well with people of all ages. His social game is very strong.
And it looks like, Josh, finally, 11 and Will Byers have been brought into the fold on the Owens tribe in some way, shape, or form. Barb and Lucas have sort of set themselves up as their own power couple early on, have decided to join up with them. So Barb and Lucas might low-key be playing one of the best games, Lucas specifically, in Survivor Hawkins.
All right, well, what I think is happening here is that, the reason why we haven't been seeing much from Will and 11 is, Billy was running the tribe. People love Billy, but he had gotten flayed, and, nobody else really understood exactly what was going on, but Will... He knows when the Mind Flayer is around. He likes it cold. He gets a chill. 11 certainly has a keen awareness of these kinds of things. And once Lucas starts to suspect that maybe something's going on with Billy, he brings his closest ally, Barb, who also has some Upside Down experience, into the fold. And the four of them, much like it happens on Stranger Things, this is like a little bit of a turning point where they have to rally together in the face of some sort of Upside Down monster.
If they don't live together, they're going to be flayed alone, Josh.
Flayed alone indeed.
All right, let's move into the Brenner tribe once again, going to tribal council, and oh my god, Josh, we thought the chickens were safe here. We have Big Wheeler, Mike releases the chickens.
Mike, what are you doing?
What are you doing? You know what this is? Mike was in one of his little emo moods because his girlfriend and one of his best friends was over on the other tribe and they kept winning. So in a fit of teenage anger, after a good old round of farting, he releases the damn chickens.
Oh, man. Stick to the farts. Release those. Keep the chickens where they're supposed to be. Mike, you idiot. You fool. Bad, Mike. Very bad. Meanwhile, it's not a wash for the Wheelers. Karen Wheeler is impressing the rest of the team. Much like we got the slow-mo sequence with Billy at the start of season 3 of Stranger Things. I think everybody's kind of taken with Karen. And maybe that's why Mike is so upset, is everyone's crushing hard on his mom.
Yeah, everyone is impressed with my mom and nobody's impressed with me. Well, if I release the chickens, it's the same type of convoluted logic that Big Wendy used, to be fair.
Yeah. Okay. What are the alliances looking like? Everybody's still together. Everybody's hanging
together.
tight.
Yeah, but it looks like if we're going off of the numbers here, Dustin seems the least loyal. He's out of 3. We have Hopper, Karen, and Robin, and the Demo Morgan are all out of 4. Mike and Max seem the most committed here. Meanwhile, what's going on with Dustin? Dustin leaves the alliance.
He's done. He doesn't want to be a part of this anymore. He's Dunstan. Dunstan's checking out.
Oh, my goodness.
He's not feeling good about this thing at all. He misses Susie.
Which is not good. He's also, around singing songs, which maybe that's why he gets an underrated edit, is because CBS cannot
they can't afford the Never-Ending Story license.
And it's not good, though, considering his worst enemy, Robin, is in the Majority Alliance with an idol. I think Dustin picked the worst time to leave his entire tribe's alliance.
Wow. All right. This is going to be a real shock to the system if Dustin goes in the 3rd tribal council. But then again, let's not forget,
it's a special
whoever
one.
gets voted out 3rd this could be the winner. So if you're a big Dustin fan, perhaps you want him to leave here.
All right, let's get to the vote here. Looks like first vote is going to Robin, who chooses
has not used her idol. Okay.
She's sitting on that. Second vote, Dustin.
The Dustman.
Third vote, Dustin.
Ugh.
Fourth vote.
It says Dusty Buns
Dusty
on
Buns,
there, and Mayor Klein says to the tribe, I can't read this. No nicknames.
From
Just
now on, bye-bye Dusty Diva.
Tell me who you're voting for. Tell me who Dusty Diva is.
All right. It looks like third person voted out unanimously. Dustin Henderson, presumably blindsided here.
That's crazy. Dustin getting voted out third. It's about as ridiculous as Chris Underwood getting voted out third, which means he's probably going to be in this for the long haul.
I mean,
here.
You can imagine he's pretty crafty, so I think he's going to make himself, definitely a commodity in the Upside Down. And you can imagine if he wins his way back into the game, that would endear himself to his fellow Upside Down inhabitants.
Oh, my God. Well, I mean, that's going to be tough because Dustin and Erica, not a lot of love lost between the two of them. So Dustin showing up to the Upside Down, it may get tense pretty quickly, Mike.
Looks like from what I can see, my assumption is that Robin, who again has her own tiffs with Dustin, was able to convince the rest of her alliance to easily get rid of him. And maybe she talked him up as a bit of a squirrely threat. And it's a good thing that they did because Dustin could have gotten away scot-free here as we're at the final 15. We have our 3 castaways on edge of extinction, but Josh, we are about to face a swap of epic proportions.
A swap of epic proportions is on the way. The winds twist. Of course, meanwhile, on the Upside Down, Erica tells Dustin that it's no Motel 6 out there in the Upside Down.
Well, hopefully, I mean, if you use Billy and Karen's connotation, I'm glad it's not a Motel 6.
Yeah.
All right, so Josh, we are going to
get the new tribes.
We're going to break down from 2 tribes into 3 tribes.
A classic Survivor staple of the modern era, the 2 to 3, the good old 2 to 3.
And just like we, split into random storylines, usually 3 storylines over the course of a season of Stranger Things, we are doing it here as well. Let's take a look at the new tribes. So the new Owens tribe, luck of the draw here, all Owens tribe members, Joyce, Lucas, Murray, Nancy, and Steve all making up the new Owens tribe, much like, again, the new Kama tribe from Survivor Edge of Extinction.
Oh, my God. Now the new Brenner tribe is very compelling. Much of the party is assembling here. We've got 11 and Mike reunited. Will Byers in the game. Max is here. Robin, who's been playing such a strong game. Odd one out potentially. But I also
with an idol.
like this. She's got an idol, so I'm not totally mad at her shot here.
Also fun that much like Big Wendy, Mike did stay on the tribe where he released the chickens as well.
Yes. We've got the newly formed newbie tribe. Not that they're new to the game, in honor of the late great Bob Newby. As we've got Justice for Barb on the Bob tribe, on the newbie tribe, alongside occasional crush Billy Hargrove. Chief Hopper is here. Karen Wheeler here. So some adults in the room. And the Dema Morgan.
So this is really interesting, Josh, because going into this swap, the Brenner tribe was down 6-9. Nice. But it looks like due to the way that things swapped out, the old Brenner tribe has a majority on 2 out of 3 tribes.
Always be throwing. If these Brenners can stay together, it may behoove them to start throwing some challenges here. Though I feel like for Mike Wheeler, who had just released the chickens, he sees 11 and Will on his new beach, and he may want to hold tight to his pregame alliance that he hasn't really been able to tap into.
Well, it'll be interesting as well because, 11's going to interrogate Mike about what happened to those chickens, and we know that friends don't lie. So he's caught between a rock and a hard stone here.
Okay, all right. Well, let's keep going with the game. Let's see what some of these tribe dynamics look like.
All right, so it looks like things are, pretty straightforward. So Murray has the immunity idol. Lucas, unfortunately, lost 2 of his main alliance partners. Looks like, surprisingly, the adult teenage alliance of Joyce, Murray, Nancy, and Steve has survived entirely. which is going to be a formidable coalition here. So I think, though Lucas is linked to his old tribe, I think if you're power ranking these 5 members, he's definitively on the bottom.
He's in trouble. I agree.
All right, going into the new Brenner tribe, Robin has the Brenner tribe idol. And it looks like, obviously the Brenner tribe was all in an alliance with each other. And we do have 2 members that were formerly on the outs of the Owens tribe together. So we'll see if they work together or split apart. Let's go to the newbie tribe.
11 and Will are sticking together. The Byers family move plus 11 has really bonded them closely together. And Mike, I think, probably a little skeptical. Maybe even a little jealous.
All right, let's go to the new newbie tribe here. So there is an idol that is hidden. Will not be found as of yet. As we mentioned before, we do have Barb and Billy together, as well as Jim, Karen, and the Demogorgon.
So I think the big takeaway right now is so far everybody's sticking to old tribal loyalties. That everybody's original tribe alliances so far staying strong. Hopper and Karen, the adults in the room, have somehow they're still kicking it with the Demogorgon. While Barb and Billy are just like hooking up in the woods.
All right, well, let's get to our immunity challenge here. 2 of them are going to win immunity. Yank your Hank, who's the best at yanking? The newbie tribe is going to win immunity, which is good. They spent a whole day constructing a new camp. And the Brenner tribe is going to win immunity, which means the 5 members of the new Owens tribe who have never been to tribal council before, Josh, are finally facing the vote.
It's finally time that the sweet, sweet Owens is going to be spilling some blood. Just as Paul rises, he must fall as well. And Owens is going to end up at tribal council.
Well, let's see if there's anything that changes in their dynamics before said tribal council. Looks like Joyce and Lucas are bonding slightly. Maybe Lucas in his time of need is looking to a motherly figure, and he chooses Joyce instead of Steve. Additionally, Murray and Steve find something in common. Josh, it's certainly not hair care.
Yeah, who has Murray told Steve to have sex with now?
Yes, exactly.
That's classic Murray, and I don't want to speculate too deeply on the possibility.
Well, it does have a lasting impact. We'll see what that impact is
exactly. Oh my, okay.
Well, let's get to the
Nothing going on at the Brenner tribe.
Yeah, looks like nothing occurred. Literally, it says nothing occurred in Brand Steel. That might be the first time I've seen that status. Let's see, maybe someone will find the newbie tribe Ego. Let's see. The Demogorgon has found the newbie tribe Ego.
Oh, wow. So the Demogorgon, has this connotation of being a little lazy, constantly underestimated for being cold, not hot. But the Demogorgon is very crafty, very resourceful, very relentless in its pursuits of its targets. So the Demogorgon walking away with the idol, to me, this feels like this was just a matter of time. And it's certainly making things very interesting heading into the next phase of the game to have a creature from the upside down with egos in hand.
And it'll be interesting as well, considering that, I can only assume we get all those shots of people looking for idols running off into the jungle. We know how quick Demogorgons usually are, so I can only imagine how lightning fast she moved through the jungle. Meanwhile, Barb and Hopper have a small fight, not off to a good note on these 2 members of formerly different tribes.
Well, I think Hopper probably doesn't like the fact that he has to deal with a dead person. He already did the paperwork on what happened with Barb.
I could imagine Hopper throwing a bit of a fit.
Doesn't feel like having to deal with it.
Meanwhile, Hopper, I think, is going to complain about the bureaucracy to Karen Wheeler, who I think is going to offer a nice supporting shoulder, and it will bond slightly and give them a lasting impact, and not in that way Murray. Looks like something is going on, though. The Demogorgon, after getting the idol, the Ego, is going to say, screw you guys, I'm off on my own now.
Well, the Demogorgon had been impersonating human being long enough, and now that she's got some egos, she doesn't have to play that game anymore. So she's just gonna actually be herself. Curious strategy, a bold strategy.
Let's see if it pays off here, Cotton.
Yes.
All right, let's get to Tribal Council. I have a feeling it's going to be Lucas here, unfortunately. I think the Owens tribe members, this is going to be a very tearful tribal council, much like episode 4 of Edge of Extinction. This is a family they do not want broken up, but I feel like Lucas is invariably on the bottom here.
All right, let's find out how this is going to go down. At tribal council number 4, Mike Bloom, Mayor Klein sitting in front of this crew, and we're about to send potentially somebody else to the Upside Down.
All right. Murray is not going to play his Eggo.
Okay.
First vote, Julie, which I guess is Nancy. Is Nancy going by a different name, Josh?
Nancy may be experiencing some kind of glitch in the Matrix. Wants to change her byline here as we're proceeding forward in Survivor Hawkins.
All right. Next vote, Lucas.
Mm.
Third vote, Lucas. 2 votes, Lucas. 1 vote, Julie Nancy. Fourth vote, and that's it. Lucas Sinclair heading to meet his sister and his BFF in the Upside Down. Josh, did Lucas get swap screwed here?
Yeah, I think that Lucas got swap screwed here. I think that Lucas bonding with Billy before, probably not great, as Lucas had left that alliance, was trying to warn everybody about why that he just couldn't trust Billy anymore, that Billy had been flayed. It's not impossible that the rest of these people he's leaving behind themselves have been flayed and are under the influence of the Upside Down and the Mind Flayer. Poor Lucas is going to be heading to the Upside Down where his sister awaits, and he will greet her by saying, "Weren't you supposed to go home?" And she says, "Weren't you supposed to die?"
Oh, but I can only imagine the secret scenes of arguments that occur there. I also think
Erica's reaming Lucas.
I also think, unfortunately, the alliance here of Joyce, Murray, Nancy, and Steve is essentially saying that Survivor Hawkins is not a young man's game.
It's not.
They're ready to prove that age is a number, and gosh darn it, it's fabulous. So we'll see what message that sends to his former allies, Barb and Billy, on the other side. Let's get into round 5 here. So we have now 4 members on the Upside Down. But Josh, we're going to get some action going on here. They are going to get a map with a clue.
Ooh, a map with a clue over at the Upside Down. And would you believe it? That it's Dustin who is going to find the first advantage. He is going to be running away from the others. Everybody had agreed that they were going to go search for the Russian bunker with each other, and Dustin took off, and Erica is pissed.
Yes, she is yelling to all sectors of the universe about it, but it's okay. She's going to have her own find a short time later. Erica's going to find an advantage where she can give an extra vote to a person attending the next tribal council. So, I mean, she has no love lost for the people who voted her out unanimously, but Erica's got a little bit of a power here where she talked about capitalism. Now we're doing some democracy here.
Well, I was going to say that Erica is nothing if not an expert negotiator. So I think she's going to hold out for whoever gives her the best deal. Whoever she thinks will give her the best deal. What's the best return on investment here?
Well, it looks like she has a plan in motion. She has some contingencies, Josh, based on who's going to the next tribal council. She's either going to give it to Steve, Max, or Billy. Interesting choices.
Very interesting choices. I mean, well, I think that giving it to Billy makes sense. Maybe a little bit of that Upside Down loyalty if she senses that Billy has been flayed.
And also, if Lucas gives her some intel about, hey, I was close with this guy.
Right. And, Max is Lucas's girlfriend. And I think even if Erica doesn't like Lucas very much, hard to argue that Max is super awesome. So she's a Max fan. Who isn't? And Steve the Hare Harrington, even though he is a big loser, did give her ice cream for life. So maybe she feels like she owes the guy something.
All right. Well, let's get into the rest of this episode. Looks like everything is square on the Owens tribe, much like Brenner tribe 1.0. Everyone is together. On the Brenner tribe, looks like everything is same old, same old. Same thing on the newbie tribe. Let's get into our reward challenge here. And it looks like we're competing for a nice hometown favorite, Josh, some peanut butter and jelly. And the Owens tribe is going to win a whole slew of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and some nice ice-cold milk. Will is shook at how ice-cold that milk is. Unfortunately, while they do not win, his Brenner tribe will win peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, leaving the newbie tribe empty-handed going into the immunity challenge.
Yeah, the peanut butter and jelly smothered all over those Eggos. It's not quite the triple-decker Eggo extravaganza, but it's good.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
Which makes Hopper still a little ticked off that he was not able to benefit from that, even though he has been trying to keep on a diet. Survival will basically put you on a diet anyway.
Well, he's happy that 11's going to get to eat at the very least.
All right, let's get to the immunity challenge here. The Owens tribe, our mighty foursome, is going to win immunity here, and the newbie tribe, even though they lost the reward, they have a sweet, sweet victory here in immunity, sending the new Brenner tribe to tribal council. Josh.
Now this is going to be interesting because we've got there's some really compelling dynamics here on this in this upcoming tribal council, where we've had Robin, who's been kind of on this really amazing run. She's got an idol, but she got maybe potentially a little swap screwed here. She's stuck with these kids that she doesn't know very well. She's just met them. Is she going to be in trouble at this tribal council? We'll find out soon.
First, let's go back to the Owens camp. It looks like something's going on here. Steve has said, you know what? I don't want to be in an alliance with everybody. I'm doing my own thing. I'm striking out on my own. My dad told me to build some character after high school. I'm doing that now.
Yeah, I think that whatever bond was existing between Steve and Joyce dissipated once Joyce realized she had a conversation with Nancy. Nancy wasn't feeling great about her potential future mother-in-law, depending on how things go with Jonathan. She didn't like that growing closeness. So it seems like Joyce and Nancy have bonded together, while Steve is going to be on the outs from that. But he and his hair can only be on the outs for so long.
And of course, that bond is also going to form a new alliance, a new duo emerging, Josh. Joyce and Nancy, who seems to be in control of the numbers. You know, they have Murray in their pocket. They've promptly pushed Steve to the outs. Josh, I know we're only facing one more vote before the merge, but could we see Steve possibly get the chop here next time around?
It's not impossible. I mean, I think that, he's been a challenge beast, and maybe they figure he's gotten them as far as they need him to get to the merge. And Stevie Amazing could find himself in the Upside Down before too long.
All right, let's go to the Brenner tribe, who is facing tribal council. 11 and Robin are going to have a small disagreement, which makes sense. 11 did try to help comfort Robin tried to help comfort 11 during the show by telling a really awkward story about her friend's gruesome soccer injury. I can only assume she does the same thing here to make a horrible first impression.
Yes, I think that that's very likely. These two probably just don't quite see eye to eye just yet. They haven't had a lot of screen time together. And 11 and Max, they kind of bickered in the beginning, too. So maybe this is going to be a similar deal between 11 and Robin before an epic friendship.
But though they bicker a little bit, it looks like action is revolving around Karen Wheeler, who is maybe having, Josh, a bit of a second thought about her participation in the game, as she decides to leave the Alliance and, assumingly, might offer herself up as someone to go right now.
Is this a glitch in the Matrix? Are Hopper and Karen on this same tribe as Robin, 11, Max, and Mike?
Oh, that's true. I didn't even realize.
All right. Well, we'll monitor. We'll monitor. Disregard for now. Let's see how things are going over at the newbie tribe.
Yeah, we'll see what Julie's up to on the newbie tribe.
Okay.
So looks like Hopper is impressing the rest of the team. I can only assume that, high on the spirits of not going to tribal council again, Hopper has serenaded his newbie tribe with his tried and true tradition of "you don't mess around with Jim." Despite many wrong notes, it earns a wild amount of applause from his newbie tribe.
Yes, so he's doing well. People are excited about his challenge prowess. He's just brute strengthening everything, and he just had a pivotal role in this win. Okay, I guess we gotta go to tribal council and find out.
Quite honestly, I don't remember who is part of this tribe.
Yeah. So we're gonna find out what's going on at the Brenner tribe. No, at tribal council, it looks like this is the real deal. We've got 11, Max, Mike, Robin, and Will Byers on the Brenner tribe, and they are indeed going to go to this 5th tribal council, and the votes are about to be read.
All right, let's see if Robin plays her ego. Robin's going to keep that ego warming up, getting slightly soggy in her pocket. Let's count the votes here.
Pretty gross, Mike.
First vote, Mike.
Ooh.
Second vote, Will. Tearing the party apart. This makes my heart ache. Third vote, Mike Wheeler. Fourth vote, Will, we're tied. 2 votes Mike, 2 votes Will. 1 vote left. The 5th person voted out of Survivor Hawkins, Will Byers.
Wow. That blind side was cold.
Ooh, but so then he liked it.
Yeah.
He got these goose pimples on the back of his neck, this little blindside tingle that made him realize at the very last second what was happening.
Well, yeah. Well, he got to the sign at the edge of the walkway and saw that he has a shot to return to the Upside Down. And Will gleefully grabs that torch to get to the Upside Down, to return home to Castle Byers with his brother Jonathan. This is old hat for Will Byers, who knows what it's like out there in the Upside Down better than anybody else who's out there.
And also knows how to wear an old wizard's hat as well.
That's true. He's wearing his wizard's hat.
Well, let's see how the votes broke down. I'm very intrigued by this. So it looks like actually relatively straightforward. We had talked about how 11 and Will were on the outs. They were the only 2 former Owens tribe members. It looks like despite the connections that were going on, they stuck to tribe lines, and I think that the key vote here was Mike Wheeler. I think 11 and Will were trying to appeal to his emotions, but of course we know Mike Wheeler's emotions are torrid at best, and at the end of the day...
Yeah, wow, and 11 voted for Mike. She voted to dump his ass.
Wow. And I think that's what she wrote on the vote as well, right? Mike, I dump your ass?
No, that's what she said in her confessional.
Or I dump your ace?
I dump your ass.
All right, so this is a pretty seismic vote. A lot of relationships have been torn asunder. Like you said, at least Will is on the Upside Down. The Upside Down becoming a bit of a family affair, which is nice. They can cry together.
Yeah. All right. So let's keep going in the game. We've got one more vote before this whole thing is going to flip upside down, quite literally.
All right. So we're on the Upside Down, and it looks like, Josh, we have more treasure hunting going on. And it looks like Erica Sinclair finds her second advantage in a row. She can... while we have Dustin being able to practice for the upcoming re-entry challenge, Erica's able to penalize another player for the re-entry challenge. Josh, this wound up in the best person's hands, right?
Erica's very, very clever. I think she's just out there. She, like everybody else, is tired. They're exhausted. Will, Lucas, and Dustin are just in their castle playing Dungeons and Dragons. Jonathan is sort of like reluctantly their fourth. And Erica wants nothing to do with these nerds. So she's out there in the Upside Down hustling. And of course, she's going to find this advantage. I'm liking Erica's chance at doing what Reem Daly could not and maybe getting back into this game.
All right, let's get to the players that are actually in the game at this moment. We see that Joyce, Murray, and Nancy are together. Steve struck out on his own, James Dean style, while Joyce and Nancy have formed their own little side deal. On the Brenner tribe, looks like 11 is on her own at this moment, on the outside, looking in with a blindfold onto everything. On the newbie tribe, looks like everything is pretty straightforward. Let's get to the next reward challenge here, where looks like the Brenner tribe is going to win some pastries, cookies, coffee, and tea. But do not worry, Jim Hopper, you're going to get your much-needed coffee here, as the newbie tribe will win second place.
Yes, some coffee and some cookies. It's very sweet, ice cold coffee for Billy and the Demogorgon.
All right, let's get to the immunity challenge, because this is a fun one from what I remember, Josh. It's one of my most entertaining twists in Survivor history, where 2 tribes are going to be going to tribal council this round to vote out one person. So this is much like the end of Stranger Things season, where the groups come back together to work together towards a common purpose. So only one tribe is going to be immune here. Let's see if the newbie tribe will extend their massive winning streak, and let's see if Barb and Billy will not attend a tribal council until merge. Looks like the newbie tribe is winning immunity.
Wow. Oh my God. So a lot of stories here where, yes, we're going to have some people who haven't even brushed up against tribal council, where we're not going to have Barb or Billy go to tribal council. But not only that, we've got 2 creatures from the Upside Down in Billy and Demogorgon who have not yet gone back to the Upside Down, which maybe they would have preferred. So it's hard to know if this is heaven or hell for these castaways. But this next tribal council is going to be a hell of an event.
Yeah, well, because if we're looking at the where things stand in terms of numbers, we have 4 new Owens tribe members. We have 4 new Brenner tribe members. Now, in the real Survivor Edge of Extinction. They very much tried to stick with their tribe lines to the point where they nearly went to rocks, or I don't know, went to dice. Is that the Stranger Things version?
I think so. I think that's great.
Where they just roll dice instead, and whoever rolls the lowest number goes here. But we have a lot of cross mingling as well. Will 11 want to flip immediately, considering how they got rid of Will? We shall see. Let's break down these individual tribe dynamics. Looks like Joyce and Murray are bonding slightly. I gotta say, Joyce Byers, she's also impressing the rest of the team. She's doing a pretty damn good job, putting in a lot of work pre-merge here, Josh.
Well, I think that Joyce has spent so much of her time in the Stranger Things universe concerned about so many other people, and this time she's out here for Joyce.
Well, and we should also point out that she has lost both of her sons now.
Yes, both of her sons are gone, and so now she's like fueled by the loss of the Byers boys.
All right, but it looks like Julie... You know what I think it is? I think Nancy says, I'm new. I'm taking on a new persona. You know, I'm no longer Nancy Drew. I think she cuts her hair with the machete down to like a nice pixie cut, and she becomes Julie. And this Julie has a much more brazen attitude, Josh. And Julie says, screw you, Mom. I'm leaving the Alliance.
Yeah, for whatever reason, the Brant Steele wants to refer to Nancy as Julie. If this is a spoiler that she is going to be a losing finalist, I will be upset with the simulator, but we'll find out exactly what's going to go on there. All right, so that is the Owens tribe. Let's check in with some of the people who are going to be in contention, potentially, to go to tribal council.
All right, so on the Brenner tribe, Max is impressing the rest of the team. I'm assuming she's just showing off some rad ollies, and everyone is sufficiently impressed by that.
Sweet skating, bro.
Exactly.
Yeah. She's just like rocking some arcade games, high scores left and right.
But Josh, it does look like even though Max, Mike, and Robin stuck together in the last vote, this alliance has dissolved at probably the worst time they could have done so.
Yeah, this is bad. And don't forget, Mike Wheeler did set the chickens free. This is around the same time that Big Wendy went home under similar circumstances. Will Big Wheeler be the next victim in Survivor Hawkins?
All right, let's see. Meanwhile, we go to the newbie tribe. Billy and Hopper find something in common. Maybe a little bit of like a cop and a criminal, or a cop and a juvenile delinquent alliance going on.
Yeah, I think the thing they find in common is a crime was committed, Billy committed it, and Hopper arrested him.
Yeah, that's hey, remember we were both there on the opposite sides of the law? Meanwhile, Barb and the Demogorgon bond slightly. You know, we talked about, conflicts being resolved in the first few days here, Josh, with some other pairs. Could Barb and the Demogorgon finally come around to each other, considering how the Demogorgon and Barb have a bit of a history?
Yeah, Barb was like, all I wanted was justice. I got it. I forgive you. And the Demogorgon's like, fine.
And meanwhile, it looks like now a newbie tribe alliance is forming. Billy has been able to crack into the former Brenner tribe. It looks like he pushed out Barb as a result, and Billy, Jim Hopper, and the Demogorgon have formed an alliance. Karen Wheeler, assumingly still off on her own, crying, while
she's
Barb...
just on her own journey. Yeah.
Well, Barb is unfortunately on the outs, but they're not going to tribal council, so they all make the merge no matter what. Let's go into this two-tribe tribal council, because there's a lot of possibilities here. We have attending 11, Max, Mike, Robin, Joyce, Murray, Nancy, and Steve Harrington. Max,
yes,
Mike...
okay, so there's some interesting things to note here, that even though it's 11, Max, Mike, and Robin who are coming from the same tribe, Joyce, Murray, Nancy, and Steve on the opposite tribe, they used to be on a tribe with 11. Will the 5 of them stick together? Will Robin, Max, and Mike be able to come up with some sort of minority plan? Robin having a hidden immunity ego in her pocket. It's not impossible that she's going to be able to make some moves here, but will she risk the biscuit for her tribe?
Well, they already had cookies, so we shall see.
We're about to find out. All right, let's see what's going on here, Mike.
So it looks like nobody... Oh, actually, Murray is going to pull his idol out, and in the true most honorable move in the game thus far, plays it on Julie Nancy. So any votes against Nancy are not going to count at this tribal council. Surprised by this move, Josh?
I am very surprised by this move, except for the fact that I think that Murray definitely has some sort of like super creepy old man crush on Nancy Julie. So maybe he thinks that much like that this is like a modern day Billy and Candace story, where He thought that she told him that she loved him. She was actually speaking to Jonathan off in the distance.
I can also imagine that Murray thinks his ego is bugged, and so he wants to get rid of that thing as much as possible.
He just wants to get rid of it. Okay, let's get to the votes.
All right, first vote, Joyce. Oh no! Did they misplay the idol here? Did they get faked out? We shall see. First vote goes to Joyce. Second vote goes to Joyce Byers.
Ooh, this is bad for Joyce. We were just singing her praises.
I know. Third vote, Joyce Byers.
Oh, she's going home to her voice. I'm coming.
Fourth vote, Max.
Ooh, Max.
Okay. Fifth vote, Max. Uh-oh. Okay.
Oh.
Could the producers have duped us, Josh? We shall see. Let's go to the sixth vote here. Max, we are tied. 3 votes, Joyce. 3 votes, Max. 2 votes left. Seventh vote, Max.
Oh my God. Okay, one more vote.
One more
and
vote.
It's either a tie or Max is out of here.
Wipeout! Max is the 6th player voted out.
And she is mad Max indeed. She thought she could just skate on through to the merge.
Much like I think she goes in the same round as Rob Zabachnik from Survivor Thailand. So I guess this is the skater curse, Josh.
It's a bad spot for the Borders, but wow.
So
Max.
I mean, we're going to go through to the votes here, but yeah, it looks like pretty much Max, Mike, and Robin, the remnants of the old Brenner tribe, tried to stick together here. I think they were able to maybe rile up, some whispering at tribal council to get Murray to play the idol on Julie Nancy, only to throw their votes on Joyce. I'm assuming they tried to convince 11 and maybe Steve to jump ship, but it looks like they weren't going to. They wanted to exact revenge on Will, much like season 1, and unfortunately that meant Max going to the edge of extinction to round up this first group that will compete for a spot back in the game.
There's some compelling storylines here as well. You would have thought that Steve was voting with his tribe. He actually voted for Joyce.
Oh my goodness. It was Robin who voted for Max.
Steve was really hurt by Joyce softening the bond between them. So Steve decided to vote for Joyce. Maybe Robin duped Steve, and Robin and Steve, in like a comedy of errors, as they want to do, they got their signals crossed and they voted for the opposite person. Perhaps some sort of cross-tribal Scoops Ahoy alliance could be in the cards.
All right, so let's get to our next phase of the game here. So first, we are on the edge of extinction, or we're on the upside down. So we're going to bring all 12 remaining members of the game to this random field where Mind-Flayed Mayor Klein says, "Welcome to Survivor. The Merge is here. Our Merge Fun Fair. So many things to take a part in. Win a big-size plush of Boston Rob. But there's one
Some 4th of July take years to become iconic. Others become iconic the moment they happen.
And in comes...
This might be one of them.
In comes Jonathan, Erica, Dustin, Lucas, Will, and Max. Josh, ominous synth music is playing, as is wont to do in Survivor Hawkins. And it looks like these 6 are about to compete for a spot back in the game. Sight unseen, who is your hypothetical money on?
Well, Jonathan is the closest to an adult.
That's true. Jonathan is literally competing against a bunch of children.
So if Jonathan doesn't win this one, then he really does suck so hard. It depends on how some of these advantages play out. I mean, Erica, she's not sugar hyped the way that she sometimes is, so that might play against her favor here. But she's been very determined ever since she's been in the Upside Down. Will has escaped the Upside Down before, so you got to think that maybe he's got a little bit of an edge here. Max, the most recent person sent to the Upside Down, maybe she is going to have one foot still in Hawkins. So I don't know. I feel like Dusty Buns, I think his time is yet to come.
I'm going to put in a prediction here. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm still thinking about Max having a chance to win this game, but maybe the fact that she has yet to spend a lot of time in the Upside Down, maybe she is the least mentally compromised, the soundest of mental fortitude. So I think she has some good sway here, but one person is going to be starting a bit further back from the rest of the pack to start, as in true Stranger Things fashion. Erica chooses to penalize Lucas in the
Butthead.
challenge.
Yeah, she's done.
This is one of those moments where it's like, okay, I think Brand Steel knows that what characters we're using here, because that is just pitch perfect.
Erica is freezing Lucas out, giving him a little bit of brain freeze at the start of this challenge.
All right, let's see who's going to be back in the saddle. And after a hard-fought challenge, Will Byers!
Whoa! Will the Wise is going to return to Survivor Hawkins in a storyline that mirrors the first season of Stranger Things. Will He Likes It Cold Byers will return to the beach of Hawkins, Indiana. He's going to reunite with his mom. He's got his friends Mike and 11 still in the game. But will he bring any of the Upside Down with him? Will he be barfing up Upside Down slugs as he returns?
Well, also, not coming with Will and the slugs, 2 halves of an Eggo.
Yes.
But in order for it to be activated, it must lie dormant, much like that part of the Mind Flayer did until Season 3. He has to give half an Eggo to somebody else. If they both survive the next tribal council, then it will form a full idol. So Will has a lot of thinking about to do, as well as to who he is going to confide this Eggo in. And it looks like, Josh, while most players are returning back to the Upside Down, one person is not. We've officially lost our very first player from Survivor Hawkins, Josh.
Oh my God. Okay. Lucas Sinclair has decided he has had enough. He has raised the flag. He is leaving the Upside Down. He will not be part of the Survivor Hawkins jury. After all this time, Erica's bully campaign against her older brother, it's worked. It's too much. Even Max staying behind on the Upside Down is not enough to keep Lucas behind. And Mike, maybe you're from a couple of episodes back, a couple of podcasts ago, you did say Lucas was in contention for LVP of Stranger Things 3. Perhaps not, but LVP of Survivor Hawkins? Couldn't hack it.
Suffice to say, I think no matter what, he's going to go out with fireworks. So I'm assuming he set up a bunch of those, but I know Survivor Twitter raked this guy over the coals.
Yeah, well, who has the last laugh because he gets to leave and drink that new Coke.
Yes.
So
all the new Coke he can drink at Ponderosa because he's alone going on that pre-jury trip. All right, let's get into our merge here. In true Red fashion, the Alexi tribe is going to be made up of Barb, Billy, 11, Hopper, Joyce, Karen Wheeler, Mike Wheeler, Murray, Nancy Julie, Robin, Steve, the Demogorgon, and the recently returned Will Byers. Lots of interesting things going on here, Josh.
Now, is Will going to have... This is the question, right? Like, Will Byers in Stranger Things, he is absent for most of the first season. He is the MVP of Season 2, for sure. He's the best character, remarkable performance from Noah Schnapp. He's a breakout. Rick Devens, when he returns from the edge of extinction, becomes the breakout player of that season. Will Will follow suit, or is this going to be a Season 3-esque Will Byers that we are seeing back in the game?
D-D-D-D-N-D. We shall see. I don't know. I think that Will holds a lot of power here. He, much like Rick said, is playing with house money at this point. Much like he spends a lot of time in that infamous house in Season 2. I think that he might come back in a little bit of a different mind frame. You know, he did only spend 1 vote at the Upside Down, but that does have a pretty profound impact on him. I guess my bigger question is not how he's going to impact the game, but how the game is going to impact him. In that, do we feel like these people are just going to say, let's throw him back out there? Or do you think they're going to pass him by in lieu of bigger targets going on here?
All right, well, let's find out how this is going to shake out. Very exciting. Here we are halfway through Survivor Hawkins. And there's much action to be uncovered.
And it looks like it took 11 long enough to find a damn Eggo, considering how affiliated she is with the brand. She has found the Merge Tribe idol. We now have 4 idols in possession here, Josh.
Well, one has been played. Murray Murray played his Ego, so we've got 11 has an Ego, Robin has an Ego, and the Demogorgon also has an Ego.
Let's look at some alliances here. So the power couple of Barb and Billy is still holding strong. We have Joyce, Murray, and Nancy Julie together.
Murray's trying to make Nancy and Joyce do some weird things.
Yeah, he's trying to put
He's got the Merge Feast vodka.
Yeah, with the vodka, also sponsored by Burger King. Lots of upside down Whoppers.
Right.
Barb and 11 are back together. Let's remember that Barb tried to make alliances with the kids. We also have Billy, Hopper, and the Demogorgon working together from the newbie tribe. Everyone else, though, seems like it's fair game, which should make for some very interesting elements here.
All right, let's get to immunity, and this is exciting. We've got a surprise winner here. I think a lot of challenge beasts in the mix here as we're at the merge, and yet it is going to be none other than the Chicken Man himself. Mike Wheeler wins the first individual immunity of Survivor Hawkins. He's feeling good now that his buddy Will is back in the game.
Yeah, I mean, who would have thought? I mean, this is the one where you hold the boom pole over your head. I mean, I guess he has more arm strength than you initially suspect, but I think, like you said, Mike is on cloud 9 right now, and I think the fact that he can't see his competitors because his hair is so, blocked off his eyes had really helped him in this challenge. So yes, Mike is the only one guaranteed to see the final 12 here. The rest, in some way, shape, or form, are going to be up for elimination here. Let's see how things shake out before Tribal Council. So we have our idols. Billy and Steve bond strongly. Josh, has a bridge finally been built?
I think that they're both just like in mutual awe of each other's island hair. They both look incredible. And I think that they realize that they could either fight or they could love one another. Just be friends.
All right. And we also have Mike and Nancy having a major fight. I think this totally makes sense. These two have never really been on the same page. It would only make sense that coming together for the first time this season, they are going to bicker at one another. Bad moment for Julie Nancy, considering that Mike is safe here. She's only put herself in a worse position by doing this, Josh.
Sibling rivalry, it was bound to get to them here. We have yet to see real bad blood between siblings and just kidding, Erica and Lucas. But we'll see if history repeats itself in this regard. Some more drama here in the Alexi tribe is originally from they had bonded over at Newbie Beach, Billy, Hopper, and the Demogorgon. And Hopper has finally woken up to the fact that he's like dealing with people from the Upside Down he probably shouldn't be.
Yes. I think
so he's left the alliance.
He's realized, you know what, I'm a dirty cop, but I have fallen in with the wrong crowd. Let me, break to the good side when I can. It's a big merge field. Anything goes here. This is an opportunity for me to declare myself a free agent. So yet another pair left in the game here, Billy and the Demogorgon. So with a lot of fluid pairs going on here, Josh, I honestly feel like anybody could go home at this moment besides the chicken freer Mike Wheeler.
Okay, we are at the Merge Tribes Tribal Council, the first Tribal Council of the game, of the Merge stage of the game. Somebody is about to have a chance to go back to the Upside Down. Everybody's shaking in their boots now that they know that the Upside Down is a thing. Mm-hmm. Some of them suspected it. Now they all know it. Will has come back with terrible tales of what awaits there. A terribly mean little girl who's hoarding all of the ice cream.
Who's still going to be there.
Nobody can eat anything. Yeah, she's still there. She bullied her brother out of existence. So what is going to happen to who gets sent to the Upside Down from this major crew of people still in the game? All right. Let's find out what's going on here.
So we have 13 votes up for grabs here. Looks like the Demogorgon is going to say, better safe than sorry. I'm going to use this idol on myself. The Demogorgon is protected from any votes coming her way.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. The Demogorgon has already been to the Upside Down and has no intentions of going back there anytime soon. The Demogorgon is here to conquer Hawkins.
Well, it was the Demogorgon's read right, or does the lack of eyes mean that she can't see what's in front of her? Let's find out. First vote, Demogorgon does not count.
Does not count.
Demogorgon does not count.
Wow.
Demogorgon does not count.
Great
vote.
instincts from the Demomorgan.
Wow, almost like supernatural skills of observation and sensory. 5th vote, Demomorgan does not count. We're possibly looking at like a consensus merge boot here. Diverted, Josh.
Wow, okay,
6th vote,
all right, let's see.
Karen Wheeler.
Ooh.
That's 1 vote, Karen. 2 votes, Karen Wheeler.
Wow.
3 votes, Karen Wheeler. That's 3 votes, Karen Wheeler. We have 5 votes left.
5 votes negated on the Demomorgan.
9th vote, Billy.
Ooh, Billy.
Okay, so it looks like the former near lovers might be on the rocks here or are up on the chopping block. 10th vote, Billy. So we have 3 votes, Karen. 2 votes, Billy. 3 votes left. Billy, we are tied. 3 votes, Billy.
Wow, the 11th
Karen.
vote goes to Billy. You gotta wonder if that's from 11.
Does she always have to vote 11th? Is that the rule?
Well, it's eventually not going to be able to work out that way, but potentially here. We'll see.
Right, so
we'll see
we're
what
facing a tie here with 2 votes left. Billy.
12th vote to Billy. Oh my God. All right. It's got to go to Karen. Otherwise, Billy is going to be wiped out here at the start of the merge.
7th person voted out of Survivor Hawkins, Billy Hargrove.
Oh my God. And Billy Amazing, Bitly himself, is going to bite the dust at the merge, is going to be sent to the Upside Down. Mike, I think that they all finally sensed it. I think they finally sensed that Billy and the Demomorgan both originally hail from the Upside Down, and they should go back to where they belong. And so they tried to do it on the obvious one, the Demomorgan. The Demomorgan wisely played that idol. And Billy and his man bun, his mullet bun, are going to the Upside Down. Spectacular.
Well, let's take a look at how the votes shook down here in this very chaotic merge vote. So Barb voted. So it looks like, actually, if I could recap here. So the ones who voted for the Demomorgan, who ended up getting the votes canceled out by the Ego, were Barb, 11.
Okay, so she was not the 11th vote, unfortunately.
Hopper, Karen, and Mike.
Okay.
So I guess we had a little bit of, we maybe had like a parental double date here. We had Hopper back together with his surrogate daughter, 11. Maybe they decided to vote together. So the two of them joined up with Karen and Mike, along with Barb, to vote for the Demomorgan.
Wow. Billy voted for Karen Wheeler. I think he made a pass at her. It didn't go so well.
Yeah. And so did Robin, and so did the Demomorgan. So,
Wow.
We saw Billy had bonded with the Demomorgan. I'm not entirely sure where Robin comes into the picture. Maybe she's just she heard a plan and she was following a trend. But the nail in the coffin for poor Billy, we have Joyce, Murray, Julie Nancy, Steve, and Will
It's a big
Byers.
surprise that Steve voted for Billy after they had just bonded. It's a little bit of the Ron Clark, Joey Amazing thing where where Steve must have gone to Billy to ask, like, what's the plan? And Billy said, go follow those nards and see what they're doing. And Steve didn't like that.
And also, I believe, Steve realized, hey, you know what? This is fun, but there could only be one hair. Let's split hairs, quite literally. We'll send you to the Upside Down. But crazy split vote here going on. It should shape up for a very interesting post-merge here in Survivor Hawkins. With 12 people left, we now have Billy joining Jonathan, Erica, Dustin, and Max on the Upside Down. Stop me if you heard this before here, Josh. Erica's gonna find an advantage in the Upside Down.
Yeah, Billy was almost on top of it. Erica grabbed him by the mullet, yanked his hair, threw him across the Upside Down, and finds not one, but 2 advantages. She can practice for the re-entry at the next challenge,
which is a while away, and it didn't help her last time. I guess that was who found that last time? Was that?
Well, it didn't work out well for Lucas, who she was able to tie up. But Erica is also going to be able to get an extra vote to a remaining player in the game, and she's going to give it to 11. I like it. I think that she understands that 11 is friends with the nerds, but because she has superpowers, she wouldn't dare to call her a nerd. And if Erica is lucky enough to re-enter the game, she's going to need friends in the game, and best to befriend somebody with superpowers.
Plus, you have to imagine that she, like the rest of us, are like, come on, 11, use your big powers. And maybe she feels like literally empowering 11 might be able to block through that mental wall and get her to actually bleed some noses and start moving things with her mind.
All right. Well, so let's see. There's no idol currently hidden.
Yeah, it
There's
looks
no.
like we only have 11 and Robin left as our idol holders. Robin has been sitting on that idol since episode 2.
She's ice cold, man. She's got ice cream flowing through her veins.
Oh boy, I hope not. Maybe that's why she's not doing well in challenges.
That's probably it. Just pooping everywhere.
Just to restructure our alliances here, Joyce, Murray, and Nancy are still a solid thing, and it looks like Barb and 11 are working together. Literally everybody else is just sort of throwing their votes everywhere.
They're just kind of hanging out. All right, we got a reward challenge here. We're going to have some groups that are formed. We're going to have 11, Hopper, Joyce, Murray, Nancy, and Will are going to be one team. The next team is going to be Barb, Karen, Mike, Robin, Steve the Hare Harrington, and the Dema Morgan. And that aforementioned team, they are going to win reward, Mike. They are going to get Chinese takeout.
Nice.
From the Starcourt Mall, special delivery.
Yes, Panda Express. Tread lightly when the blue and yellow meet in the West, and I believe that these are blue and yellow teams as well. So it is all too pertinent. I believe that the final puzzle was to put a bunch of planks together, and we know that Hopper, though he is used to nailing planks up on walls, considering how many sieges they do within a house, unfortunately, it did not work out here, as this group gets some much-needed MSG moving into the Immunity Challenge, where Murray Bauman is going to take it. He's able to stand on his toes the longest, but just like he is always on his toes with the various conspiracies going on around Hawkins.
I think that's right. Congratulations to Murray, who really needed this immunity because I think people haven't quite forgotten that dazzling idol play, that very bold play that he made on Nancy Julie's behalf earlier in the game. So the more that Murray can protect himself, I think ultimately the better. What's going on back at the beach before Tribal Council, Mike?
Well, Karen Wheeler is impressing the rest of the team. I think she likes to entertain. She loves house parties. I think she finally feels liberated from her husband, Ted Wheeler, and is, lamenting when he comes out for the family visit. So I think she's...
Mike, I think, we said we wanted a story for Karen Wheeler, and I think Karen is just like having a little bit of a, she's just kind of crushing it lately.
Meanwhile, Barb and Steve have a major fight, understandably so. Let's remember that Barb encountered Steve back when he was jerk-ass Steve Harrington Season 1. I think she'll never forget that.
Not only that, she died in his pool.
That's very true.
It's hard to forgive.
And also, we have Karen and Steve having a minor disagreement. I could totally see this being the case where Steve is a bit disrespectful around camp. He's leaving his sailor hat around and not hanging it up, and Karen decides to have a word with him. Additionally, Barb and 11 decide to call it quits here, Josh.
They didn't really have much in common anyway. I mean, I don't really know where that came from.
It really was them coming together and being like, why are we working together right now?
Yeah, I'm not really sure what that was all about in the first place. But there seems to be a mega alliance forming here on the Alexi tribe between 11, her father surrogate, Chief Hopper, her boyfriend, Mike Wheeler, Mike's sister, Nancy, Robin and Steve. The Scoops troop are hanging tight. The Dema Morgan really just shining everybody on. The Dema Morgan social game is just outstanding.
Yeah, seriously, considering that it is a creature that I'm assuming cannot communicate whatsoever, I guess that makes it the most trusted in the game.
It had its moment with Chief Hopper once upon a time. 11 and Will, who is also in this alliance, they can speak the Upside Down's language. So I don't know. I guess better the Dema Morgan the Dema Morgan you don't.
And of course, Will is here as well. Will also made it through his tribal council intact, so I'm assuming he has that idol now in his pocket. And so with this alliance of 8, I guess on the outs are who? We have Karen Wheeler, we have Barb, we have Murray.
It doesn't really matter for Murray. He's doing okay.
Yeah, and who else am I forgetting about here?
I think that's it. I think I think Joyce. Joyce is in a little
Joyce,
spot.
Okay.
Joyce is in a little spot of bother. I think Will is deciding, I have to play my own game. I have to do what's best for Will.
All right, so we have Karen, Joyce, Barb, and Murray on the outs. Let's see if one of those 3, sans Murray, is going to be going here. Let's get to Tribal Council. First vote, Barb. Second vote, Karen Wheeler. Third vote, Karen Wheeler. 2 votes Karen, 1 vote Barb. Fourth vote, Barb. We are tied. 2 votes Barb, 2 votes Karen. Fifth vote, Karen Wheeler. 3 votes Karen, 2 votes Barb. That's 3 votes Barb, 3 votes Karen. 7 votes left if you count 11's extra vote. 7th vote.
Is she playing her extra vote?
Oh, that's true. I'm not entirely sure. It didn't say there, so maybe she's not. 7th vote, Karen Wheeler. That's 4 votes Karen, 3 votes Barb. 8th vote is Karen. 5 votes Karen, 3 votes Barb. Barb, 5 votes Karen, 4 votes Barb. 10th vote, Barb, 5 votes Barb, 5 votes Karen Wheeler. It's going to come down to these last 2 here. 11th vote, assumingly from 11, Karen Wheeler. Okay, we're at 6 votes Karen, 5 votes Barb. It's either a tie or Karen Wheeler, who we just proclaimed as doing a great independent woman storyline, might be making her way to the Upside Down. Last vote and next person sent to the Upside Down, Karen Wheeler!
Karen, no! Karen!
Wow. Let's see how this shook off, because it turned out to be 7-5, which is interesting. It seems like that alliance of 8, one person might have defected. So let's take a look here. Barb voted for Karen. 11 voted for Bob. Harper voted for Barb. Joyce voted for Karen. Karen voted for Barb, obviously. Mike voted out his own mom.
He voted out his mom.
Mike Wheeler is the villain of Survivor Hawkins. I'm putting that down right now. He freed the chickens. He voted out his own mom.
Wow, Mike Wheeler is just freewheeling through the game. He wants to play without his mom. He votes out his mom. Unbelievable. Wow. He overheard his mom's pep talk to Nancy, and he didn't like it. He didn't like that he didn't get a pep talk. Nancy, meanwhile, voted out her mom as well.
Wow.
Nancy voted out her mom because she didn't ask for the pep talk, and she got it anyway.
Wow, this is like the biggest amount of impudence I've seen in Survivor ever. Like, Mom, I hate you, Mom. Leave.
Yeah, we said when Easton meets West.
Yeah.
That's what happened here.
When Easton meets West Nail.
Yeah, double Easton for Karen Wheeler. Who I think she was feeling herself. She was like really feeling like she was crushing it. The whole tribe was impressed by her. So I think we gotta say that at the very least, where Stranger Things has failed Karen in the past, at least we're getting some great action. We got some great action from Karen here in Survivor Hawkins, and it's not over for her necessarily. Yeah. She goes back to the Upside Down. Maybe now she has a second shot at love with Billy, who's there.
It's interesting because I'm looking at the votes as well, and it seems like despite that alliance of 8 being together, half of them voted for Barb. So Steve,
you don't think this is a split vote plan?
It could be
if they play it safe.
Yeah, if they feel like Karen has an idol, that way they also know. I think Karen and Barb both know they're on the outs. So that forces
they got to
vote
for each other. They don't have a chance.
So the Dema Morgan, Steve, and 11 and Hopper all vote for Barb as well as Karen. So yeah, I think it's safe to say this alliance of 8 is currently in a stranglehold over the game right now, and poor Barb and Murray and Joyce are unfortunately looking in the house right now in that log cabin. Let's go to the Upside Down. Relatively straightforward after a couple of rounds. Erica is pissed that she has not found an advantage yet, considering how flush with cash she has been in the past. But everyone's just hanging out there.
They're just chilling in the Upside Down right now. Not a lot going on. Back at the beach, 11, she's still got the idol. Robin still has the idol. The alliance between Joyce, Murray, and Nancy, it's still holding strong.
Though I think, are we saying here, is Nancy a mole?
Nancy's double dipping. Double dipping. She's got the alliance with Joyce. She's got the alliance with Murray. Murray's still trying to make some magic happen between the two of them. I think Nancy is just playing along just in case. And she's also in that mega alliance between 11, Chief Hopper, Mike, Robin, Steve Harrington, the Dema Morgan, and Will Byers.
All right, let's get to our immunity challenge here. as Barb. Oh, this was a needed thing for Barb. She nearly went home at the last tribal council, and she knew that, so she was going to stand there for Bo Diddley, and as a result, she was able to keep her ball perfectly balanced and claim immunity here. Josh, do you agree? Much needed win for Barb?
Much needed win. Much as she needed justice, she needed immunity. Even worse, she is safe from the upside down once again. How long she can hold out here, I don't know. If Barb can run the table and make it all the way to the top here, this could be this could be a real Cinderella story for the previously deceased Barb Justice. I was going to
say Barbarella, but that's something very different.
I think Barb Justice.
And I think if Barb can hold on longer than she could onto those pool rungs when the Demogorgon dragged her into the Upside Down, I think that's going to be okay for Barb. Let's see what happens here. Hopper and Murray find something in common, probably because they realize they're both the oldest people in the game that are left.
I was going to say it's that, or they're both like hoping to see something happen with Nancy and Joyce.
Yes, the perv alliance, the perv partnership is really becoming a thing.
They're getting very pervy. They both like their fair share of vodka, which Murray has squirreled away from the merge feast.
Which he's impressing the rest of the tribe with. I think everyone is appreciating that they're going to take some downtime. You know, the games have been a little hectic, a little intense the past rounds. Murray's going to get everyone nice and calm here he's going to build a pullout into the shelter just so everyone can have places to sleep. Additionally, Julie, Nancy, and Steve will find something in common. Josh,
I mean, with Jonathan out of the game for so long,
while the boyfriend's away, will the Julie play?
Yeah, I think that Nancy and Steve have rekindled a little bit of their old former flames for each other.
That'll could do well for the fire making challenge as well.
Yeah, absolutely. But in a big development, we're seeing that the giant alliance here in the Alexi tribe, that there's been a little bit of a swap. Ooh. As Steve Harrington is going to hop into Steve was already in the alliance, but we're going to see 11 is leaving the alliance. It's like, once again, she's mad at Mike.
Yep.
She dumps his ass. And
I think she's gonna
had it with her dad.
Yeah, she's gonna find out that they're withholding information from her. They're giving her a bunch of rules, and she doesn't like those rules. So she's gonna step over the trap wire and head out on her own to Barb Cago, where she's going to come back to Barb, hat in hand, and say, "Okay, remember when we had that thing and we realized, why are we in this thing? I think we should be in this thing again."
We should be in this thing again. So 11 is going to leave the alliance. Could be an intentional ploy, as we know that 11, she's got the ability to harness those superpowers. She does have an ego in her pocket. Will she use it? We will know once her nose starts gushing blood, Mike Bloom.
All right, let's get to Tribal Council here. Looks like Robin is finally going to play her idol. Interesting choice by Robin. She's in the majority alliance. Maybe she's just saying, you know what? Better safe than sorry. I believe this also was the chaotic Julia Tribal Council in Edge of Extinction. So maybe she felt by historical precedence, she wants to make sure, much like David Wright did on Rick Devens, that she wants to be safe here.
Well, I think that Robin and 11 both knew that the other one had the egos in their pockets. And I think Robin seeing 11 leave the alliance made her nervous. And 11 seeing Robin use her ego makes 11 want to get superpowered as well. The blood is gushing from her nose. And we've got two idols out in the open here for this crazy 9th Tribal Council of Survivor Hawkins.
Let's get to the votes. Could we see a no-vote scenario happen at the final 10 here?
Oh, jeez, man. I hope so. All right, let's read the votes, Mike.
First vote, 11 does not count.
Wow.
11 does not count.
Oh, she drew these fools out.
11 does not count.
She has
11 does not count.
She has them exactly where 11 has been quiet all game long. She was waiting for this moment. It's the Blockbuster Tribal Council.
Fifth vote, 11 does not count. Sixth vote, 11 does not count. Josh, we are halfway through the votes here, and none of them have been cast properly yet.
Oh my God! All right, 11 You're killing it.
7-vote 11 does not count.
7-11 does not
Yes,
count.
we take a brief break to get some Slurpees and force the cashier's face against some
I
Hostess
ordered
cupcakes.
cherry, not this shit strawberry.
8th vote. 11 does not count. Wow. I mean, we are looking at 11th worth. The second coming of Kelly Wentworth is happening here.
This is crazy.
9th vote, 11 does not count. Josh, this is insane.
All right. Oh, my God.
10th vote. Robin does not count.
Holy crap. Oh, my God.
11th vote. Robin does not count.
And that is an 11 vote. That is cast by 11. 11, and you got to assume it's Barb voting for Robin. Mike, no votes.
And that's the final 11.
There is no vote. They have to re-vote at the final. At the final 11. 11 comes out and just destroys the game. Holy crap.
Well,
okay.
So we should also mention, so this is, yes, all right. So it looks like there's a tie and a revote. Those in the tie will not revote. So it looks like Murray, Nancy, Joyce, Hopper, the Demogorgon, Mike, Will, and Steve are all up for grabs here. So remember, Robin and 11 are now immune. I mean, they were immune anyway because they played idols. So is Barb, who has individual...
And Barb and 11 were the two who were really not in the alliance, right? I think Joyce may be in trouble here as well. Murray could be in trouble as well. You expect that the alliance between the Demogorgon, Mike, Nancy, Will, Steve, and Hopper will hold.
Wow.
But who knows? It's a crazy night. It's hard to know.
I was going to say, I don't know what could one up the Julia... pilot passenger, I'm jumping ship tribal council, but this might be a top contender here. 11 votes cast, none of them count. I'm still in disbelief about that.
All right.
So let's see of this revote who's going to go. So everyone revotes. 11 wipes the blood off. First vote, Will.
Likes it cold.
Second vote, Murray. 1 vote Will and 1 vote Murray.
My God, he's shitting in his jorts.
Third vote, the Demogorgon.
Wow, the Demogorgon finally draws blood.
Yes, they get a baseball bat and they finally took a swing at her. Fourth vote, Nancy. Wow, we are tied 1-1.
This is crazy. This is the craziest thing I've seen in any of these Brant Steels. Oh my
here
God.
We go. Fifth vote, Steve. So just to be clear, we have 1 vote Will, 1 vote Murray, 1 vote Demogorgon, 1 vote Nancy, 1 vote Steve.
It's anybody's game. 5 votes.
All right, 6th vote, Joyce.
6 people.
Did everyone just turn to each other and say, okay, votes for the person on your left?
Oh, God, nobody knows what to do. No one was allowed to speak. Everybody's discombobulated.
All right, 7th vote.
Okay, Murray. Murray looks like he's in big trouble.
All right,
Murray's
he has 2 votes.
out.
2-1.
Wearing those brown jorts now.
Oh, lovely. They're ready to get his stink to the upside down. 8th vote, Joyce. 2 votes, Joyce. 2 votes, Murray. Let's keep going here. 9th vote, Steve Harrington. Okay.
Wow, the hair. The hair Harrington.
2 votes, Steve. 2 votes, Joyce. 2 votes, Murray. Joyce.
Okay,
3 votes, Joyce. 2 votes, Steve. 2 votes, Murray. 1 vote left. Joyce Byers, after maybe the craziest tribal council we've covered in our Brent Steele careers, Joyce, by a revote after a no vote, 2 idol plays, has been sent to the upside down. I mean, I think everyone is stunned, including Joyce at this moment.
Mike Bloom, we have watched a lot of Survivor. We have talked a lot about Stranger Things. I don't think that we have ever seen a stranger thing happen in Survivor than the Joyce Byers vote. What a blindside. What a night. This is why Survivor is still on after all of these years. Joyce going to continue on to the upside down. Of course, she can hardly believe what has happened.
So let's see what happened here. You were correct in that it seems like the formidable duo of Barb and 11 did vote for Robin. They were the 2 lone votes for her. Good on Robin. I'm assuming that she sort of did what Jeremy Collins did in Survivor Cambodia, where when 11thworth went to go play her idol, Robin decided to stand up and play hers as well, which is good. She would have gone.
Yeah, but they were wildly on different pages for the re-vote, where Barb voted for Steve Harrington. She wanted justice for getting killed in his pool, and 11 voted for Nancy for truly reasons that are beyond me. A pretty wild Hopper vote here, Mike Bloom. Hopper voted for his own daughter. He tried to vote out his daughter. It did not work for him. So instead, he voted Joyce Byers out of the game. That's what happens when you stand up the chief of police.
Yeah, this is what happens when you mess around with Jim. And Detective Byers is promptly fired. Wheelbarrow is off its kilter.
Inspector Joyce, see you later. Joyce voted for 11. She tried to vote the Demogorgon out of the game. Instead, she will see the Demogorgon's home turf at the Upside Down. Crazy.
Mike voted for his girlfriend, 11. Maybe he was mad at her dumping his ass. Though in the re-vote, he also throws a vote onto Joyce. Mike and Hopper seem to be lockstep here. You wonder
if this is some sort of coordinated attack where 11's like, vote for me tonight, I've got a plan, and then vote for Joyce afterwards.
So we have Murray voted for 11 and was able to squeak by on the vote, tried to throw a vote Steve's way. Nancy threw a vote onto Will in the re-vote, just seems to be sort of out of nowhere. Robin threw a vote onto Murray in the re-vote. Steve also voted for Murray. Looks like that Scoops Ahoy crew is finally on the same page. The Demogorgon threw a vote onto Joyce with Mike and Hopper, and so did Will
voted out his mom!
We got the double Easton!
Everybody voted their mom out. Everyone who could vote their mom out voted their mom out, except Jonathan Byers, the worst.
Double your pleasure, double voting out your mom.
Oh my goodness. The kids of Hawkins are taking over. Will Byers poised for a Devons-esque run here through the merge of Survivor Hawkins. And Joyce is shook.
Yes.
As she huddles up in Castle Byers with Jonathan, lamenting the news of the evening. She can hardly believe what happened.
Though good on Will, because I think the vote ended up being so chaotic, he could very easily say he voted for Murray, he voted for Steve. He could get away by saying he voted for himself, and I'm sure people would believe him, but wow, who would have thought one of the most chaotic tribal councils ever would end with somebody else for the second time this season voting out their mom? Survivor Matricide should be the unofficial subtitle of this season.
Mike, I can't believe what's happening here. We have to continue. We're up to episode 9, a 2-part episode here in Survivor Hawkins. The 10th and 11th tribal councils are going to be looming. That 11th tribal council coming up.
Yep.
Feels ominous for your friend and mine. Coming into episode 9, so much momentum behind 11.
Yeah, I completely agree. Let's go to the Upside Down first, where Joyce has recently arrived. Looks like we're going on a little bit of a treasure hunt. Joyce is going to find an advantage for the next immunity challenge and give it to 11.
Game respects game, Yeah. I think that Joyce understands that 11 did what she had to do. 11 did not vote for Joyce in that re-vote. So she's feeling like she's just gotta give props to somebody who played masterfully and could use all the help she could possibly get.
All right, let's take a look. There is a human immunity idol, Ego, back in the game. Will Byers capping off a streak. He says, "Screw you, Mom. I can make my own breakfast. Here's an Ego."
Here's an Ego, and he's hogging all the airtime in addition to the Egos here. Will Byers looking pretty sharp.
Do you think at this point they're going to just call him Byers now?
Yeah, I think that he's earned last name status. Last Byers standing. No buyer's remorse here for Will.
All right, let's take a look at what else is going on here. So Murray and Nancy still holding together without Joyce. Murray still as pervy as ever, maybe even more so. It's magnified now that Joyce is not there to divert some of it. It looks like that alliance is still trying to hold strong the anti-11 brigade that voted against her at the last tribal council, while Barb and 11, Three Amigos style, were able to survive the last tribal council. But will they be able to escape the noose this time. Let's go to our immunity challenge where the Demogorgon is going to pull it off.
Ooh, the Demogorgon wins immunity, and an embarrassing showing for otherwise the star of the season so far, 11, who had the advantage and could not seal the deal, nor could she seal the door to the Upside Down. She's left it open 3 inches, and she may get sucked in at this next tribal council.
Well, you'd have to imagine that the Demogorgon still has some resentment held towards 11, and it's one of those mentalities of like, I need to beat you no matter what. And I know that the 11 was the second to last person to drop out of the challenge, and so the Demogorgon just sort of won it by pure will, pun unintended. Let's get to our tribe here. All we see is the Demogorgon, now safe, has a major breakdown once again, Josh.
Honestly, Bloom, it was just a matter of time. This is a Demogorgon trying to mix it up with human beings. So the fact that the Demogorgon is just now finally starting to lose its mind, it's a surprise that it took this long.
Let's get to Tribal Council. Josh, I don't know if 11 is going to make it to episode 11. She was able to, stave off death once before, but I don't know if she can come in at the 11th hour and escape it again.
All right, well, we're about to find out. It will be very embarrassing for 11 to miss Tribal Council number 11. This was 11's goal coming into this season. Will it go down? This is a major milestone. Let's read the votes.
First vote, Hopper. Second vote, Barb. Uh-oh. Could the Alliance be thinking that 11 has an idol and takes out her right-hand woman instead?
Oh, okay.
Third vote, Hopper. 2 votes Hopper, 1 vote Barb. Barb. That's 2 votes Barb, 2 votes Hopper.
Interesting.
Fifth vote, 11.
Oh.
2 votes Barb, 2 votes Hopper, 1 vote 11. We could see a split vote scenario here, Josh. Sixth vote, 11.
This is bad news.
This is bad news. 2 to 2 to 2. Seventh vote, 11. Oh, do not thank heaven. 3 votes 11, 2 votes Barb, 2 votes Hopper, 4 votes 11.
Yeah, it's over, right?
Let's call the ball game here. 11 put up such a valiant effort. This is our robbed queen goddess. 11, by a 6 to 2 to 2 vote, is sent to the Upside Down.
Listen, much like the bald David Wright was voted out in the first part of episode 9 of Survivor Edge of Extinction, so too does the bald 11. This is season 1 11 we're talking about, according to the Brant Steele picture. She is knocked out of the game, just 1 vote shy of the 11th Tribal Council. She couldn't bear to see it, perhaps. Great run. That was one of the best moves I've ever seen in Survivor history at this most recent Tribal Council before this. Everyone was wise to get 11 out of the game.
Yeah,
We're looking at the results.
If you give her enough rope, she's going to telekinetically pull it away from you.
Barb and 11 tried to get Hopper out of the game. 11 voted for her dad, but her dad voted out his daughter.
Yeah. And it looks like Robin and Will threw a couple of votes to Barb just as a split vote plan in case 11 played another idol. They could tie it up and get rid of Barb here. So
and
Barb,
would you believe it, Mike? Mike Wheeler dumped 11's ass. He voted 11 out of the game.
Mike Wheeler again turning full villain here. The internet hates him at this point. They're saying, look, I know you're shoving buyers down our throat, but send Mike home. He is an a-hole.
Yes, the unreformed bad boy of Survivor Hawkins, Mike Wheeler. All right.
Let's get into our final 9 here, where Barb is looking in a very dire situation. She's facing off against an alliance of 8 that doesn't seem alliance of 7 with Murray. Maybe it's a side piece that doesn't seem very privy to keeping her around. Everyone's chilling on the Upside Down. I think 11 being there crushed a lot of people. Let's remember, Erica sent her an extra vote once upon a time. Joyce sent her a challenge advantage. It does seem like 11 was one of the favorites of the Upside Down, and they are all sad to see her there, as is the fan community. Everything's good alliance-wise. Immunity challenge time. Hopper wins immunity.
Yeah, castaways must balance a dish with 5 dimples on a ball support. Each castaway must land 1 ball in each of the 5 dimples. Hopper drops his towel, but he doesn't drop the balls. He wins the ballsy challenge, and it's really no surprise.
And to celebrate, he puts on a pair of sunglasses and reenacts the entire Magnum PI opening credits. It's a little obnoxious, but we'll give him that.
We'll give him that. All right, let's get back to the beach, Mike. Over at the Alexei tribe.
Wow.
A fairly big development where the bad boy himself, Mike Wheeler, is deciding he doesn't need these people anymore.
I think that Mike...
He got 11 out of there. Maybe he's feeling some regret. Maybe he kind of wants to go to the Upside Down. Maybe he wants to go be with 11 again.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it is. I think Mike realizes, like, oh my God, what have I done? He's become corrupted with power that he's realized he's lost the person that he never said I love you to. I think he's looking for an opportunity to tell her that. Maybe that means he's voluntarily, wanting to send himself to the Upside Down. Maybe it just means he doesn't want to work with these people anymore, including his own sister. I'm not entirely sure, but once again, Mike finds the most inopportune moment to put himself on the outside there with Barb and Murray. I still think Barb is primed to go here as 11's number 2, but Mike might have put himself in contention here.
All right, let's get to Tribal Council and see how this is going to shake out.
Will is going to play his idol on Robin.
Woo!
Any votes cast against Robin will not count.
Listen, Will, as the Mind Flayed, likes it cold, knows that Robin works at Scoops Ahoy, is amenable to making free ice cream for life deals. Perhaps he thinks that if he protects her with this idol, he's going to get ice cream for life when he gets out of the game.
Well, let's see if Will's, analysis was accurate, if he has the omniscience of the Mind Flayer as well. First vote, Barb. Second vote, Barb. Third vote, Barb. Fourth vote, Mike.
Ooh.
So 3 votes Barb, 1 vote Mike. Fifth vote, Mike.
Ooh.
3 votes Barb, 2 votes Mike. Sixth vote, Mike. We're tied. 3 votes Mike, 3 votes Barb. Could this be a blindside for the young bad boy Wheeler? 7th vote, Mike.
Wow, let's go. It's it. It's done. Toast.
And 8th vote, and the person voted out next, Mike Wheeler, thought he had this game on lock, got rid of his meat shield in 11, and he found himself on the wrong side of a blindside just like that. Josh, what did Mike do wrong here?
I think Mike was arrogant. That's classic Mike Wheeler. He got too big for his britches, and then I think he got really mopey and emo because he felt bad about what happened to 11. And I think that he left the Alliance, and part of me feels like this is what he wanted. I think that he wanted to be with 11. I think that he was feeling weird being around Hopper for without 11 there. And he felt like maybe if Hopper's in the game and I can go to the Upside Down, then Hopper can't stop 11 and Mike from being together. So Mike is going to go to the Upside Down. Vote breakdown. Ironically enough, Mike and Hopper, they vote together. They both vote for Barb alongside Robin, who got an idol played on her by Will Byers.
Who ends up voting against Mike.
Will voted out his best friend. The Demogorgon votes for Mike. Steve Harrington votes for Mike. Nancy votes for Mike. Murray votes for Mike. Barb votes for Mike.
Do we think that the mantle of badass Wheeler has now been passed from Mike to Nancy Julie, considering that now she's voted out her mother and her brother from the game?
We gotta see Nancy get a hidden immunity gun for her to make that final transformation into the badass Nancy.
All right, Nancy, get your gun.
We'll see. We'll see where that goes.
Let's
all right, episode 10.
We're at the final 8 here. Just to recap, our final 8 is Barb, Hopper, Murray, Nancy, Robin, Steve, the Demogorgon, and our upside-down returnee Byers hanging tough right now.
Hanging tough. Yeah.
All right, let's go to the Upside Down. Mike arrives, I'm sure, to a big argument with 11, with Erica chiming in, I'm sure, for good measure. Really awkward night there in the Upside Down. Looks like Mike and
11 eventually make up. They kiss and make up, and everyone's really grossed out.
And then they kiss, and then they kiss some more, and then they just keep on kissing, and everyone's just sort of rolls their eyes.
It's really gross. It's very gross.
So then we take a look at our alliances here. Murray and Nancy have become the new power duo, and they're sort of holding strong here, and it looks
that Murray is not in the majority alliance, so Nancy's still just keeping that option open.
Yeah, she's looking out for him, much like he's looking at her in a very weird way.
It's a main alliance of Nancy, Hopper, Robin, Steve the Hare Harrington, the Demogorgon, and Will Byers. The 6 of them remain tight together. There's a reward challenge. Everybody's split into 2 groups.
And it looks like Barb, Hopper, Murray, and Steve are going to win a trip to the mud pits. And man, if you ever thought you needed the image of Hopper and Murray rubbing mud on each other, spoiler alert, you do not.
Yeah, but it's happening. It's real. They're bonding very closely. And Murray's like rubbing the mud all over Hopper's belly. Hopper's rubbing the mud all over Murray's hair. Steve is not going in the mud pits. Neither is Barb. The last time she went swimming, she died.
So
she hasn't been in the water all game.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. She smells a lot, but this might be the first time that half of our winning team has opted out of the reward. I'm surprised they did not pull a Samuel Del Sur and give it away to somebody. But we move on to the immunity challenge here, and Robin is going to win immunity. I believe, Josh, that we do not have a repeat immunity winner as of yet.
Wow, that's amazing. This is a very athletic group. You know, surviving Stranger Things is no easy feat. And with 3 seasons of upside down obstacles under their belt, everybody is a possible winner.
All right, let's get to our tribe here. Barb and Steve find something in common, assumingly not wanting to get in that mud.
Yes.
And it looks.
Meanwhile,
it looks like Josh.
Will the unwise. Will has left the alliance.
Why do people keep doing this?
This doesn't pan out for anyone.
Yeah, 11 left. She nearly got voted out, then got voted out. Mike left. He immediately got voted out. Byers, what are you doing, dude?
And this ends up being like you leave the alliance. It's not even like people like get like kicked out of the alliance. Yeah. It's always framed as like, I have left the alliance, and then that person gets voted out. Byers, this is a very stupid idea.
All right, let's see if we're saying bye-bye to Byers once more as we go to Tribal Council here. First vote, Barb. Second vote, Will. God damn it, Will.
Idiot.
Third vote, Will.
Oh, you idiot.
Fourth vote, Will. That's 3 votes Will, 1 vote Barb.
Stupid idiot.
Fifth vote, Will. God damn it.
You moron.
Sixth vote, yeah, Will, you dumb idiot. You
Will the unwise.
Voted out unanimously.
Buyer's remorse officially. It is a terrible, terrible showing from Will Byers here, who gets knocked out of the game when he absolutely should not have had to be knocked out. Don't forget, he also had that return from the Upside Down idol in his pocket that he never used. He goes back to the Upside Down with it. And he's going to return to the Upside Down. His whole family is going to be there. They're going to be very, very mad and disappointed with him.
Can we also say Barb has become the cockroach of this season? You know, we thought that right after 11 left, she was gone. But Mike and Will somehow burned bridges much bigger than hers to the point where she has just stuck around and has actually been brought in on some of these votes.
This is crazy. This is crazy. Will voted for Barb. Everybody else voted for Will. LVP of this season at this point, Will Byers.
What? Will, you had the game in your hand.
It's in your hands, and you just threw it up.
Oh, my God.
Barfed it into the sink.
Goodness. All right. You're definitely Winston.
This went worse than his Dungeons & Dragons game.
Oh, boy. All right. Let's move into our final 7
He's got
here.
the hat back on. It's his freaking dunce cap in the corner.
Will becomes the 10th person in the Upside Down right now. Getting a little crowded there in Castle Byers, but they're surviving no matter what. Let's get to the reward challenge because, Josh, we're getting some love.
Oh, family visit. Nice. And Robin is going to win the reward, and it's Mrs. Clickety Clackety?
I guess so, or that girl she was crushing on.
One?
The one who sings really badly.
Oh, weird. Okay.
So
Mrs. Clickety Clackety has come out for Robin as her loved one.
And
she's going to pick 2 other people to share love with.
And she picks the Demogorgon and Hopper You know what? Interesting choice on Robin's part, because I believe Robin picked probably the two people who had the most a strange connection to their loved ones. I think Hopper picked one of his deputies, and the Demon Morgan picked what, a demodog?
Yeah, it's Dart.
Dart comes out.
Dart comes out. It's the first demodog in Survivor history to be a loved one.
All right, so with some questionable love under everyone's belt, I can only assume how much she pissed off. I mean, Barb missed out seeing her parents due to Robin's picks here. Let's go to the immunity challenge. It doesn't matter, though, if Robin pisses anyone off. For the second time in a row.
Yes!
Robin wins immunity.
Yes! All right. I'm all in on this Robin train right now. MVP of Stranger Things 3. Let's make a run at this.
The Robin run. I think that running Robin. And also, she's used to standing there all day at Scoops Ahoy. I can imagine her feet are pretty numb as is. So she was totally fine standing in a perch for a long portion of time.
Okay, this is great. Robin is the immunity winner. Nothing could go wrong for Robin this round.
Except...
What the
Robin has left the majority
Robin
alliance.
has chosen to leave the alliance. All right, these people are getting flayed, man. I think you're getting flayed.
Or so for some reason, Hopper, Nancy, Steve, and the Devin Morgan are just that toxic that people just cannot deal with them.
You're getting flayed.
But I think it's one of these Dr. Sean things where Robin's like, I know it happened with 11. It happened with Mike. It happened with Byers. But if it happens one more time, then I'll think there's a pattern.
But something curious has occurred. Robin has left the alliance, but she's forming a new set of Scooper Troopers.
Yes,
she
Queen!
Is leading the way on a new crew. Jim Hopper going undercover with a new Scooper Trooper alliance alongside Robin, Barb, and Murray, who has the most loyalty of the entire crew, because he's just desperate for anything.
He has literally nobody. He's had literally nobody for the past week in the game. I mean, with 7 votes, Josh, if this sticks together, we could see Nancy, Steve, or the Demon Morgan get blindsided here.
Oh my God. Okay.
Wow. Robin, if Robin pulls this off, this might be one of the most successful rounds any Survivor has played in Brand Steel history.
All right, let's get to Tribal Council. I can't wait any longer.
First vote, Barb. I feel like I've said that literally every time for the past 5 rounds.
Yeah.
Second vote, Steve.
Ooh, ice cold.
Third vote, Barb. Fourth vote, Steve. We're tied. 2 votes, Barb. 2 votes, Steve. Will Robin's plan work here? Fifth vote, Barb. 3 votes, Barb. 2 votes, Steve. Steve, we are tied. 3 votes, Steve. 3 votes, Barb.
1 more vote, right? One vote left.
So, did Robin's plan work? Or are we saying goodbye to Barb here finally? Barb lives to see another day. Steve Harrington is voted out.
Steve the Hare Harrington knocked out. Ahoy, matey.
Steve got thrown down an elevator shaft into a pile of his own piss. Robin...
Oh my God, so evocative.
Robin pulls off one of the biggest moves in Brand Steel history. She gets Scooper Troopers 2.0 together to blindside an OG member of Scooper Troopers. Barb, Hopper, Murray, and Robin all vote for Steve, blindsiding Nancy, Julie, Steve, and the Demon Morgan. They now have the power. She voted
out her colleague.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm all in. I'm totally in on the Robin train at this point. I'm taking Mrs. Clickety Clackety. I'm hopping on the back there and riding that train to the station.
This is an appropriate level of craziness here at a podcast that is absolutely going to boil over 4 hours at this point.
Wow.
The Stranger Things feedback show. I don't know if it's delivering for you folks, but it's certainly delivering for us here as we are watching Survivor Hawkins unfold. And we're getting to the final 6, Mike, and it is a who's who of people left behind. We've got Justice for Barb Holland, Chief of Police Jim Hopper, the conspiracy theorist himself, Murray Bowman, the never nude, Nancy Julie Wheeler, Robin, the ice-cold ice cream scooper, and the mother effing Deborah Morgan.
This is going to be, we have one more round before someone comes back from the upside down and shakes the game up once more. Still a lot of play. There's an alliance of 4, but who's to say that Jim does not have allegiances back to Nancy and the Demo Morgan? We could see a tie here. I think it's safe to say that Murray and Barb are pretty tied into Robin. Robin saved Barb here. So it'll be interesting to see how things shake out. The 11 players in the Upside Down are going to receive letters that Jim Hopper wrote to them before entering the game.
Yes, just leave the door 3 inches. Yeah. And some sad music is playing in the background.
Yeah, as David Bowie plays. David Bowie, they actually fly a speaker system in to play David Bowie while everyone weeps over their letters, as it gives them some reflection right before they come back into the game. Let's get to the Alexei tribe here. Also something to note here, though, Josh, even though we have Nancy on the outs, Murray and Nancy have the most loyal alliance in the game so far.
I think that Nancy's been secretly dragging Murray through much of this game. But what's amazing is Murray has not told Nancy about his secret alliance with Chief Hopper, Barb, and Robin.
Yeah, so we'll see if that ends up burning Nancy here, and we'll see yet another Wheeler get blindsided. Let's go to our reward challenge, where Challenge Beast Robin's domination continues. She wins reward. They get a helicopter trip around the island to a poolside luxury resort. She is picking her fellow Scooper Troopers, Hopper and Murray, who for some reason cover each other in mud again, even though that's not the point of this reward.
She left Barb behind, Barb being in that alliance, but I think she recognized that Barb would not appreciate the poolside luxury resort.
That's true.
But I do think that Robin may have made a mistake here by bringing Chief Hopper. I feel like outs a member of her alliance. And Hopper's participation so far, he was deeply undercover.
Maybe it doesn't matter, though, if Robin continues her challenge streak in the immunity challenge.
All right, let's find out.
She does not.
She does not. It is a win for Nancy Julie.
Combo breaker.
Grant Steele persists and insists that Nancy's name is Julie. And this the prophecy of Nancy as a losing finalist, it continues to build momentum.
Nancy wins in a word puzzle at the end. We know how good she is with her words, considering she's a roving reporter, so it makes sense for her to win this. Very much needed for Nancy, but certainly puts the Demo Morgan on the back clawed foot here. But at the Alexei tribe, finally feeling safe, Josh, Barb has a major meltdown.
I was ready to swim! I was ready to swim!
On my birthday!
It was my damn birthday! I was ready for a swim! I'd gotten over my fear of pools and I was ready to swim!
Well, let's see
you had ice cream!
If she's going to stick with the Scooper Troopers, or
Justice!
Could Barb flip here? We shall see as we get into our final 6 tribal council. First vote, Hopper.
Hopper finally, Hopper always throwing himself into harm's way.
Yeah.
And finally getting to see some payback for that.
Second vote, tactic. The Demo Morgan.
Oh, the Demo Morgan.
Third vote, Barb. 1 vote each, Hopper, Demo Morgan, and Barb. Fourth vote, Demo Morgan. 2 votes Demo Morgan, 1 vote Barb, 1 vote Hopper, 2 votes left. Demo Morgan by 4 to 1 to 1.
Wow.
The Demo Morgan is going to the Upside Down. So yeah, looks like despite maybe Robin revealing her hand here, Barb having a meltdown, it seems like the Scooper Troopers stuck together and sensed the Demo Morgan, finished off the plan, stuck to it as Easton met West once again to send the Demo Morgan finally to the Upside Down where she came from.
Yeah, but you have to applaud the Demo Morgan. I think applaud the Demo Morgan because this was not a human being. Yeah. And this not the only non-human character, the only non-human castaway out there in Survivor Hawkins made it as far as the original final 6 and still has a chance to re-enter the game, Mike, because we have reached that point. Yes. Where the door to the Upside Down is opening one last time, and somebody is coming back to Hawkins for vengeance.
I should note, though, that as much as I thought the Scooper Troopers 2.0 would stick together, Barb actually voted for Hopper.
She was mad.
I think she felt that Hopper stole her poolside spot. And
I think so too.
And so we actually saw that Murray was able to bring in Nancy Julie here as a vote to vote against her former ally, the Demo Morgan. I think Nancy Julie is just doing an anything but me approach at this point. Here's how we're looking right now. We have a final 5 of Barb, Hopper, Murray, Nancy, and Robin, but they will not be 5 for very much longer. They're going to have one more person come back as this voluminous group of 12 people come in here. Now, we knew that Erica had an advantage to be able to practice the challenge as much as she could. Josh, this is going to be a huge shot in the dark. Do you have a pick as to who's coming back out of Jonathan, Erica, Dustin, Max, Billy, Karen, Joyce, Eleven, Mike, Byers, Steve, and the Demo Morgan?
I think you gotta go with history based on Survivor Edge of Extinction. You got Dustin, the third person voted out. Can he fulfill the Underwood prophecy? I'm just gonna say yes because that's gonna be so ridiculous if it comes true.
I, for a story purpose, would love to see 11 come back. I feel like 11 and Barb joining up and 11 exacting some revenge on her father would probably be the best outcome here. You know, Mike coming back would be fun, but we already now have a new badass Wheeler, so I'm pulling for 11 here. She's become the fan favorite, at least from our perspective.
All right, let's find out. It's the Edge of Extinction return competition. One player is going to come back from the Upside Down for a shot at $1 million and sole survivor of Hawkins' glory.
And that
Who's it going to be?
Is Dustin Henderson!
Yeah!
What?
Oh my God! Dusty Bun! Oh my God!
This feels like something out of the Never-Ending Story. This feels completely fantastical.
He's flying in on Falcor, singing the song. Susie Poo could not be happier back home.
Dustin Wood confirmed here. Dustin comes to the game, says, "Who the hell are these people?" I cannot, for the life of me, believe that this actually happened, Josh.
Unbelievable. Dusty Wood coming for the clutch here as he is returning to Survivor Hawkins. He better find an idol. He better win some challenges. This man needs some luck on his side if he is going to get back into the running for the $1 million. But it's just fantastic.
Yeah,
couldn't be happier. Slipping back in, Gumbying his way into the game.
I will say, Josh, good news is that much like Byers before him, Dustin was given 2 halves of an idol. So if he makes it past this next tribal council, he will have something to play, but he will not be able to find an idol back at the Alexi tribe camp, as Murray has found his second ego of the game that can be used in the next couple of rounds.
Right, and he still has his friend Nancy here, who he's played an ego for already in the past. The new power alliance of Barb, Hopper, Murray, and Robin, they are holding tight, which could be very bad news indeed for the newly re-entered Mike Wheeler.
Dustin Henderson.
Yes, Dustin Henderson, not Mike Wheeler at
Julie.
all. We're so far into this podcast.
Yeah, we are basically took our own little shoot serum, and we're just like on the bathroom floor at this point.
Oh my
looking
God!
Up at the ceiling.
The podcast is going to be almost the length of Stranger Things.
All right, let's proceed here. Let's keep on keeping on here. Julie is going to win immunity. Nancy Wheeler at the final 6. She also wins reward here and gets to take 2 people to steak and chocolate cake. Apparently, it's now a rule of thumb to take Murray and Hopper onto any rewards. These 2 guys get all the fringe benefits of going on reward challenges without actually winning them, Josh.
Wow, no Ruth's Chris steaks for Dustin Henderson. This may not be tipping in the direction of the Chris Underwood prophecy after all.
For some reason, Murray and Hopper are now rubbing chocolate cake on each other.
They keep getting each other dirty. They love this.
They figure it's good luck at this point. Let's take a look at the Alexi tribe here. So we know Murray has the ego. Barb and Robin are bonding strongly, but Robin has a major meltdown. Josh, I think she's seeing the end here. It's just in sight. I think she is very afraid that this could all fall apart, especially with the return of a wild card like Dustin.
Well, listen, Mike, ice cream always melts eventually if you don't eat it fast enough. Robin has been on a tear, and she may just be at the point where she's losing it.
Uh-oh. Josh, things just became more complicated. We thought that Hopper, much like Ben Driebergen with, noticeable hat before him, was the spy. Hopper has left the alliance.
Yeah, okay, so he's getting voted out next.
So here's the thing. So we have Barb, Murray, and Robin in an alliance together, but we know Murray's tied with Nancy. We could see Hopper, Nancy, and Dustin vote together to force a tie. There's a lot of permutations going on. Dustin could very well go out the revolving door here to join all of his upside-down denizens on the jury as well. Let's see what happens here at Tribal Council.
Oh my god, all right.
First vote, surprise, surprise, goes to Barb.
Wow, Barb.
Second vote, Barb. Could this finally be it for the Barber Roach? Third vote, Dustin.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Fourth vote, Dustin. 2 votes Barb. 2 votes Dustin. 2 votes left. Dustin, and we're going back out that revolving door. Dusty Buns spent one more day in the game than he did before. By 4-2, Dustin has officially joined the jury. Josh,
all right.
Gotta say, I know that people were, had their opinions tampered based on what happened to the Edge of Extinction returnee in the season proper. Gotta say, I'm pretty disappointed here with what happened with our returnee.
I'm pretty disappointed as well, except for the fact that, you know what? It was fun out there in the Upside Down, and Dustin was a great character. But we've had a really compelling group of 5 that are now entering the final 5, highs and lows for the remaining players in the game. This will not be a season that is perverted, that is asterisked by an Upside Down returnee claiming the game.
Would it be an Upside Down asterisk, so it's actually at the bottom of the text instead of the top?
Every single player remaining in Survivor Hawkins has been in Hawkins the entire time. And now it is just one last battle of Starcourt for this final 5 with you would imagine Nancy being on the outs because of this alliance that has existed between Barb, Hopper, Murray, and Robin for the past few rounds. But will Nancy find herself in a swing vote position, especially with her close affiliation with the pervert Murray Bowman?
And we also see here that Nancy, under Murray's wing, also voted in the majority for Dustin with Barb. Hopper, after hopping out of his alliance, was the one to vote with Dustin. I can only assume that Nancy was the swing vote here, and I think her and Murray possibly had the most covert partnership of this entire season, and they stick with it in that she votes with them.
Okay, well, I'm excited here. I love Dustin Henderson, of course, but here we are at a final 5. This isn't a kids game, Mike Bloom.
I know.
None of these kids are eligible for the win. We've got 3 teenagers and 2 adults who are still in the running here. The Alexi tribe is about to go from 5 to 4.
Yes, everyone here can drive, so I can only assume that a car is going to come with the prize. That's the only reason why they held off on that. So, as to mention before, Murray and Nancy are together. Hopper and Nancy have a little bit of leftover loyalty from that big old alliance. The remnants of the Scooper Troopers, sans Hopper, are still together. Getting to our immunity challenge here, Barb wins immunity.
Barb, powerful. Resurrection looks good on you, Barb.
Guaranteed a spot at that Final 4 all-too-important fire-making challenge.
# barbaric, as she is not aligned with someone
Eric
named
Haveman's
Eric.
Not in the season, yeah. All right, let's get to our tribe
the barbarian.
Here. Looks like, Josh, another member of the Scooper Troopers is going to dessert.
So Robin,
no pun unintended there.
Yeah,
with dessert.
well, yes, Robin is going to go to dessert because she can't get enough ice cream out here on the island.
Ooh, I do not feel good about Robin becoming a free agent here. Maybe she wants to try to become, a swing vote, much like Nancy did. But this leaves Murray in a very well connected spot now. He's connected with Barb and he's connected with Nancy. I can only assume that one of Robin or Hopper is going to go here.
Okay, well, let's find out how this is going to shake out at the Final 5 Tribal Council with these spectacular players, all of them in the running for a defeat here. Let's find out how this is going to go.
First vote. Well, actually, Murray is going to play the idol on himself. Makes sense. Last time to play the idol. He's not going to take it home as a souvenir, especially because he thinks these things are bugged. So
he doesn't want that in his apartment.
First vote. Murray does not count. Second vote, Robin. Third vote, Robin. Uh-oh.
Robin, you fool.
Fourth vote, Hopper. Okay, we could face a 2-2-1 tie vote here. And we do!
Wow, okay, a tie at the final 5. This is interesting. I'm sad. I don't want to see either of these two people go.
I know. These two have had a profound impact in the game, but it looks like...
Hopper's been kind of Teflon. He's had the bulletproof vest for much of the game.
That he got from Arnie.
Yes, Robin has played a balls-out game, a bold game from the gate, leaving the Alliance at times and still being okay, but she's just left the Alliance, and will that cost her? Let's find out.
All right, so we're going to have 3 people voting here. Barb, Murray, and Nancy are going to be the only 3 votes that matter. One of them will definitely go because there are 3 votes here. Let's find out what happens. First vote, Robin. Second vote, Hopper. We're tied. This is going to be it. The next player voted out of Survivor Hawkins, Jim Hopper. We see a blinding flash, and Jim Hopper is no longer there, except he's on the jury bench.
Yeah, he's not in the Upside Down. He's not in Russia. He's still here, but he has no shot at $1 million as this becomes Murray's absolute dream, surrounded by Barb, Robin, and Nancy.
Oh God! Oh, this is terrible. Oh, this season's canceled after this. I guarantee.
He is so close to the final 3 scenario of his dreams.
So let's take a look at what happened here. So it looks like Barb and Murray were the ones to force the tie here. Hopper and Nancy voted for Robin. Robin, true to her free agent nature, threw a vote out for Murray, which got nullified. I think unintentionally saving herself there.
Yeah, well, because I think she was like sketched out by pervy Murray. Like she's the only one who sees it other than Hopper. But Hopper was trying to take out the biggest threat in the game.
Yeah. So good on you, Hopper. You fought valiantly like you always do. We are now facing a final 4 here of Barb, Murray, Nancy, and Robin, Murray's begrudging angels. And we'll see how we face the new Final 4 round in Modern Survivor. It looks like we have, Murray's well-connected. He has a couple of partnerships. It doesn't really matter because there's not going to be a vote.
He's fine. He's probably making it to the final tribal council unless he gets burned out on fire.
All right, let's go to the final immunity challenge here where Barb, third immunity win, Barb guaranteed a spot in the final tribal council, Josh.
She doesn't know how to swim, but those land challenges, those balance beams, she can keep those blocks up.
Yep.
Barb is here for justice. She will not be content unless she takes home the win. She's at least going to be guaranteed a shot at redemption in front of so many people who have been in the Upside Down. And in so many ways, Barb is their champion, somebody who has been in the Upside Down prior to this game. Congratulations to Barb.
Very well deserved. She has clawed her way up through so much, losing her closest ally to now be facing the jury. Let's see what happens with these other 3. So, Barb is going to take Murray to the final 3. So Barb and Murray,
makes sense.
Barb and Murray are going to be sitting there in the finals. The final spot is either going to be going to Nancy or Robin. Nancy wins the fire-making challenge. I believe there was some gunpowder involved, so she just shot it, and a spark lit up. After a long, hard-fought battle here, Robin becomes the final member of our jury here, Josh.
You know what? Robin was a challenge beast. She was a strategic powerhouse. She was a survivor through and through. But when it came to fire, it's no surprise that the ice cream scooper melted away.
Yeah, not a lot of candles get lit at Scoops Ahoy, so not a lot of experience there, especially just, and Nancy tends to, she has a sparky personality as it is. She's has some incendiary wit, so Robin did not stand a chance. Here we are, Josh. Final 3, Barb Holland, Murray Bauman, Nancy Wigler. Let's talk through these players. First off, best friends, Barb and Nancy, somehow made it here together.
Yeah, I think that's been an underreported story. And Nancy, being a reporter, you would have thought that she would have spoken about this
Well,
more.
I'm pretty sure
in her
Jake Busey talked her out of it on the after show. We're not going to publish this.
Yeah, Nancy's also been under-edited all season long as retribution for her antics at the Hawkins paper. Nancy kind of just tucked under everybody's wing, didn't really do too much. She did vote out her own mother
and brother.
So if people are respecting that kind of killer instinct, she may have a shot here. She may also have a shot because she will point her firearm at all of the members of the jury and say, if you do not vote for me, I will shoot you with the gun that I get in the final act here. So that could be working in Nancy's favor. Barb has a hell of a story. Yes. She died, dude. She died. She was dead. Barb wasn't alive. And then Barb came back to life, improbably, and really found herself out here in Survivor Hawkins. Really came alive out here, especially in the end with some crucial challenge wins. Got to imagine Murray's got no chance. But just being here next to these fine young individuals,
he's already the winner. What's better than $1 million than $1 million and some ass?
It is what he has lifted that line from Survivor history.
I would also say that Murray, I think he overrates his chances with the jury because he says, I'm going to water it down. You know, I don't want my arguments to be able to be too bombastic, so I'm going to really try to play down all the things that I did. But for what it's worth, Murray held the most power for this endgame. You know, he had tight relationships with both Barb and Nancy to the point where he pretty much saw a spot for himself in the finals. He found 2 idols as well. So it depends on what this jury values. And just as a reminder, this jury is made up of Billy Hargrove, Dustin Henderson, 11, Erica Sinclair, Hopper, Jonathan Byers, our first boot, Joyce Byers, Karen Wheeler, Max Mayfield, Mike Wheeler, Robin, Steve Harrington, the Dema Morgan, and Will Byers.
Mike Bloom, it's not impossible that we'll get some kind of tie here.
We have
the
14-person
jury. Yeah, you could see a 7-7 forcing the third place finisher to become the final.
Yeah, we could see like a 5-5-4, perhaps a 6-6-2, if you will. But let's put some guesses out here right now. Josh.
Oh, it's not even worth trying to guess how Brant Steele is going to have these.
You're going to have Dustin come back again and win.
I'll say this. I think we're about to get justice for Barb.
Okay, if so,
the story writes itself.
How
about yourself? Lock in a winner pick.
I'm gonna go with Nancy. I feel like while she is fated to finish in the Julie spot of a third place no vote finalist, I feel like they have a little bit of Stranger Things is about the dweebs, it's about the nerds, it's about the underdogs. In this game, Nancy has been the ultimate underdog, so I feel like they have to acknowledge that. Watch now Murray win and both of us be entirely wrong.
Okay. All right. Shall we get to the vote?
Let's get to the vote.
All right. It's the reveal. They've come back from Hawkins.
They're now in Chicago.
They're in Russia for the revelation of the vote. And the winner of Survivor Hawkins is...
Let's count through the votes. First vote is Barb.
Okay.
Second vote, Julie. I'm just going to call her Julie, just for fun.
No, Nancy Julie.
Third vote, Murray. We're tied, 1 vote apiece, 11 votes left.
Oh, my God.
Fourth vote, Nancy. Fifth vote, Murray. 2 votes Murray, 2 votes Nancy, 1 vote Barb. 2 votes Barb, 2 votes Murray, 2 votes Nancy. That's 1 more to Nancy. 3 votes Nancy, 2 votes Barb, 2 votes Murray. Murray, 3 votes Murray, 2 votes Barb, 3 votes Nancy. Barb, 3 votes Barb,
wow.
3 votes Murray, 3 votes Nancy. Nancy, 4 votes Nancy, 3 votes Barb, 3 votes Murray, 4 votes left.
Wow.
11th vote, probably from 11, Murray.
Okay, Murray, 4 votes Murray.
4 votes Nancy, 3 votes Barb, 3 votes left. Barb! 4 votes Barb. 4 votes Murray. 4 votes Nancy.
This
Josh,
is crazy. This is so close.
this is unbelievably close. We have 2 votes left here. 13th vote for Murray. We have 5 votes Murray, 4 votes Barb, 4 votes Nancy. Here's what's going to happen. We have 1 more vote here in the urn. If it's for Murray,
Wow. Then he's the winner.
then Murray Bauman is our winner. If it's for Nancy or Barb, then we're going to have a tie. And I'm not sure what Brant Steele does in that case, considering that we have 4 people who voted for a 3rd placer. Let's see what happens. Barb!
Barb gets the. Oh, it's a tie.
It's a tie vote.
A tie between a dead person and a pervert.
This is the worst timeline.
Oh, this is a weird
So
timeline.
Nancy is going to be the arbiter of the fates here.
Okay, so you got to give it to Barb because they're best friends.
But who was Nancy closer with, Josh?
Oh God, she was tight. Murray.
The winner of Survivor Hawkins, Murray Bauman!
Ah! Ah! What has happened?
Yes! I love this. I love the chaos. Murray was able to, the most paranoid person in the game, navigated the rough waters in his jorts to be able to win the title. Cashing in on the closest relationship in this game, much like Laurel. Cast that vote for Wendell. It was Nancy who determined that her close pal Murray was gonna win this.
And Barb is dead all over again. Justice for Barb chants all over the Survivor Hawkins Reddit page. It's horrible. Nancy is chased out of town. She was the Survivor Hawkins super fan beforehand. She will never be accepted in the community again because people were so cruel to her. It's just a disaster.
Let's figure out what the hell happened here.
Oh my God. Okay, so Billy voted for Murray. Makes sense. Two perverts backing each other's play. Dustin votes for Nancy. Julie, he still appreciated her dancing with him at the snowball.
11 votes for Barb. Makes sense. They were each other's biffles.
They were friends improbably. Erica votes for Barb, thinks it's pretty cool that someone dead came back to life. Hopper votes for Murray.
His mud bud.
His mud bud, his vote covered in mud, written in mud. Jonathan Byers voting for Murray.
Totally out of nowhere. I don't think Jonathan knew who Murray was, because I'm pretty sure also the final 3 were all members of the OG Owens tribe. So Jonathan did not know any of them. He just threw a vote towards Murray. Maybe he remembered those fond memories of getting together with his girlfriend for the first time in Murray's shady warehouse.
Thanks for getting me to have sex.
By the way, Murray's going to upgrade to like a palatial mansion now after winning $1 million here. Joyce is going to vote for Nancy. They did have a bit of a connection before her boot. Karen Wheeler's going to vote for Murray.
I don't want to talk about why.
Yes. Max is going to vote for Murray.
That makes no sense. I would have figured she would have been a Barb vote for sure.
I think her and Jonathan sort of maybe stuck together because they're both pre-murderers who didn't really know Murray.
Yeah.
Mike Wheeler is going to vote for Barb. I'm not going to vote for his sister. I think a little bitter about her blindsiding him.
He's definitely upset about it. Robin votes for Julie.
Nancy.
Votes for Nancy. Julie, it's a respect vote.
She beat her at fire making. Steve also going to vote for Nancy,
hoping that they can rekindle their romance and he can get a little bit of that $1 million. The Demogorgon.
I think this is the headline of the finale: is that the Demogorgon votes for Barb.
Justice for Barb. The Demogorgon felt bad for what it did to Barb. Votes for Barb. And Will the Wise gets it wrong. Votes for Barb.
Wow. So we had, by the final vote, with Nancy's vote included, 15 votes, 6-5-4, Josh.
Unbelievable. All right, let's see who wins the fan favorite award. Who is Sia giving money to?
Sia first admonishes Mike Wheeler by being like, don't kowtow to my votes, honey. You were the villain. Gives it to Robin in a true Rick Devens fashion. hard-fought battle. I thought it might have been 11 at one point, but I feel like 11 went a few episodes ago, that Robin has the more recency bias. So
Yes.
good on Robin. She did not make it to the finals there, but she does get a consolation prize here.
Unbelievable. Mike Bloom, Murray Bowman, our champion here in Survivor Hawkins. And to apply this to Stranger Things 3 more directly, Murray was a source of great amusement over the course of the 8 episodes of Stranger Things 3. I do believe that you and I would agree Robin as an MVP of the season, both Survivor and Stranger Things. So that's very fitting. Probably ultimately fitting that Barb, who did not appear or was mentioned in season 3 of Stranger Things, was not a contender to win in the end.
Let's see. We had 3 people vote out their moms. Will made one of the dumbest moves in Survivor history by leaving the alliance and getting voted out. 11 makes one of the boldest moves in Survivor history by drawing votes to her, only for her to fling those votes to the side. We had Dustin Henderson voted out day 9, coming back only to get voted out again. Erica Sinclair, by far the star of Upside Down. Fans are saying the Upside Down twist was not the best, but at least we got 10 more episodes of Erica Sinclair in our lives.
They hope to never see it again.
Exactly. So that's going to do it here. Let's go into some other statistics here. Barb and Robin are the undefeated challenge victories here. Actually, Barb, Nancy, and Robin each won 2 immunity challenges here. Barb, huge vote magnet along with 11. She was able to survive so much, and Murray was our resident idol finder with 2. Josh,
and Murray received the second fewest votes of the season.
And I think they admired that. He was able to slip under the radar. He also, voided some votes against himself, but I think they acknowledged the fact that he was able to put himself in a pretty good position throughout, where he was never really the target. So I think that is commendable. I think that while the optics of Murray winning aren't great, I do commend him for the game that he played, jorts and all.
Oh my God. All right. Well, that was crazy. Survivor Hawkins officially in the books. Mike Bloom, we got to wrap up this feedback show because I have to pee so badly.